Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to Knowledge Relationships Reckless Reviews with your boy, Sophisticated Jerk, and Stan Joseph in the building.
What's up?
What's good? What's good? I see my man Frosty up in the chat early. Talk about he watching the Super Bowl. Fuck the Super Bowl, Frosty. Goddamn Chiefs out here choking like like no ever before. Like they never been to the Super Bowl. Looking horrible out here. But shout out to everybody, man. I told him, I was like, hey, it ain't gonna be that year, man.
Yep. I knew it was gonna be the Eagles.
Well, I know it's gonna be the Eagles, but the Eagles out there performing.
Yep. And the best part about it, I knew it was in order for me to seal the deal, not to bet money on it.
Nah, I put money on the Eagles.
Oh, see? But for me, I can't do it. That means if I bet money on the Eagles, that means the Chiefs will win.
But I ain't gonna lie, man. I was definitely sweating. I'm like, oh shit. I don't know why I bet that money. These motherfuckers about to get blown out. But shout out to Hunt.
Yeah. Hey, happy birthday to Frosty. His birthday was last month.
Yeah, happy birthday, Frosty.
The man's
MIA, man. We need you back out here, man.
Yeah, definitely for sure, man. Especially now since he's 18, man. Congratulations, man. You know, you survived.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Frosty, man. He young. He out here enjoying like low mileage coochie out here. Still got his youth.
But best of all, he's
oh Lord, no.
And that's what we like to hear.
Hey Frosty, when you start hitting 40s, it's a wrap, Frosty. Enjoy this shit now, man. Indulge in your youth.
Enjoy your simping decade. Make your mistakes.
Nah. Frosty about that life. Frosty, don't be out here simping, but definitely enjoy yourself.
You gotta enjoy it. Like enjoy your simping decade. Just enjoy it. And save your money. And don't tell people you got money. That's the best advice I could tell you.
Nah, facts.
Mm-hmm.
But M3, I saw that thumbnail, man. You got the white Derrick Jaxn out here. Saw angryman getting at these dudes.
Yeah, shout outs to angryman. I forgot to one thing I forgot to do, man, was to tag the brother, but I know he's a good content creator, so I know if he got this up in this piece, I know for sure this is going to be a heck of a good one. Now, I don't know what this guy's about to say, but it sounds like he's about to say something where it's going to be out of pocket. And it seems like he's going to be playing for the team of women. So, for now, he's like the Caucasian Derrick Jaxn for now,
So he's not out of pocket. He's in their pocket.
Oh.
That's what he's doing. He's in their pockets.
So he out here pandering. That's what this is.
And about to get some more money.
Yeah, I'm about to start going in. I'm about to start turning it up, man. I was trying not to do it because, man, honestly, my true, I'll say nature is not to be coming at dudes, but I just see, man, we got to start having that divide between the different categories of guys, because some of them, man, they sick where, they want to do the pandering shit. So shout out to angryman for kind of pointing this shit out, and, everybody else that, kind of give some pushback, because this stuff's starting to get corny, man. You got the most, I'll say, unmasculine dudes trying to define masculinity, and it's hilarious. And also I got I'm a little bit biased because angryman and them, they're from Brooklyn. So, shout out to Brooklyn. Even though they from Brownsville, man, I got to hold out a little bit against them, best style, fly style, but
okay.
Still Brooklyn nonetheless.
Wait, what best style? That's Harlem?
Stop playing, Stan. That's Manhattan. Harlem's Manhattan. See, Brooklyn is best style is Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn?
Right. Yeah.
But you from the Bronx, or you from the Bronx or Queens?
Who?
You.
Brooklyn, best style.
Brooklyn? Yeah. I'm from Manhattan. I like Midtown. I'm bougie.
I don't get it twisted. I like Manhattan, but it's just funny, like the whole geographic how it breaks down, man. Yeah, I like all boroughs, honestly, but
I'm Manhattan. That's where I need to stay. I can't do no Brooklyn. That's Oakland. I can't do no Bronx. That's the hood. I must stay in Philly. And
Bronx is definitely on some hood shit. Brooklyn too, but Brooklyn they kind of cleaned it up.
Brooklyn is different because you remember the Wiz.
The what?
The Wiz. It was the black version of Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you talking about the one with Michael Jackson?
Yes.
When he was semi-black still.
Yes. Well, he was still black. He always black.
Yeah.
And you saw people popping out of nowhere, like the graffitis dancing. That was the Bronx. And literally anybody who visited the Bronx, there's nothing wrong with the Bronx, but people be popping out of nowhere like, where you just come from? And that's but that's like, I got cousins in the Bronx, but man, no. I just in Queens. But I'm Manhattan. I'm Midtown. I love Midtown's middle of everything. And
yeah, no, that's a nice area, man. You talk about like 42nd Street and shit. Snow Buddy Capital. Shout out to you though.
Hey, I'm bougie.
I feel you. Hey, I ain't mad at you. Do your thing, Stan.
I'll visit the boroughs on the weekends so I can get like some plantains and rice on Sunday.
So you go hit the food spot and you come right back. You like, I'm going to the daylight.
The thugs are out trying to rob people on Saturday, but they either go to church on Sunday, so it's safe.
Now the over there in Brownsville where Angryman and them, they grind me though. I ain't gonna lie, man.
He stay in the hood. I thought he stay in the good part of town.
Nah, Brownsville, Brooklyn for the most part is down bad. Unless you live in like Bensonhurst, Bay Ridge and shit.
Yeah, they call Brooklyn the Manhattan East. And I was like, oh.
Nah, it's getting better now, man, because they gentrified a lot of stuff. You know, where they put that Nets stadium, definitely built up them areas. So, I mean, it's getting better, man. But it's still, you know, it's just so congested that honestly, it's like you'll have a nice block, but right around the corner, you know, it's going to be some like a project building you'll see up there. Because
the projects they got until 2026 allegedly, thanks to Trump. He's like, y'all got to find a place to stay.
No, facts. That's prime real estate though. A lot of those buildings, shit.
Yeah, y'all should have been thankful for them projects. You say the most expensive city in the world. You got to be thankful for them projects. Now they coming in and take them out. Like no more Section 8. No more projects. Man, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, they trying to push because I know even DC they doing some of that stuff, man. I forgot the name of that old ass projects they got up there, but that shit sitting on like prime real estate. They like, hey, look, we about to took that down to build some condos, you know?
Yeah, they already did it here in Northern California because they shut down the projects and made it like a mixture of when they rebuilt it. So it's like 10% residents could return, another 10% is for Section 8, and another 10% is below market rate, and then the rest of it is market rate rent, and it's owned by private companies. So it's part of HUD, but they do inspections like almost every other week. And so when I used to work for this organization, we try to house people, it was tough because everything been gentrified. There's no more projects. We didn't know what to tell these families. They had to move out and spread out. But yeah, it happened here in Northern California. So
where do most people move to? Like Arizona?
No, it's like other it would have been Stockton.
So y'all done send them to Stockton, boost the crime rate over there, huh?
Yeah, but here's the deal, right? If all three of us was going to an apartment building, right? What they do now is like an apartment building, like say like a 3-bedroom used to be like $2,000, right? And that's low end, right? But however, like a landlord will put each of us on separate lease and charges each probably $1,200.
Damn, so they was eating
Oh.
over there.
Yeah, but they don't want to rent out to families because they like that's per head. They could like rent per head. You can't rent per head with the family.
Okay, so they doing a room thing because yeah, that's big. They doing a lot of that, so that makes sense. Okay.
So everybody's on the lease. So like, yo, like, man, all these projects, y'all should go 50-50. Table.
Now they trying to push everybody out those cities, man, and that's the reality, man. It's like, look, we gonna build condos and stuff, but yeah, y'all got to push out. That's how they doing it. But yeah, we could have to deep dive in that, man. I think that would be a good topic one day.
Yep. But as you always say, SJ and also M3, bring that rent money to the table. Y'all better bring money to that table.
I need half.
If you can't provide half, she's not a keeper.
Nope.
Don't even
she gotta go
to mama's house.
Gotta go. Gotta
scoot. Yeah. So let's go ahead, man. We're gonna play this video. I want to hear what Zaddy has to say in the defense of these women. And
wait, what you call them?
Oh, Zaddy.
That's what they call him, Zaddy. Hey, he got a clean suit on, man. He's clean cut, so he trying to live up to the image. He's like, shit. Let me go get my my haircut. You know, he got the whole Justin Timberlake shit going. So he's like, look, I'm trying to appeal to these chicks. He's like, I gotta get some of this Derrick Jaxn money. He was like, look, my pockets is short. He's like, I'm about to pander.
Yeah, I think what's his name? What's that pandering guy name? I think he started with a W, right? The guy that wears the glasses shirt guy that lost the debate with Anton, but one of the
Yada. Yeah, super simp.
Yada, man. I think Yada, man, open up a floodgate of utter like panderers, men who probably didn't have the courage to pander, but now has the courage because they're like, oh, the guy like Yada could do it and make so much money, I could do it too.
Nah, it was Derrick Jaxn. You gotta put some respect on the simping. It was Derrick Jaxn. Derrick Jaxn came out here, man. After that, it was there was like the Poppy guy that came out. Then it was like Yada was like on third wave simping.
Oh, man.
You know how they got the third wave feminism? Nah, Yada was like on the third wave, but nah, Derrick Jaxn came out strong.
Oh, yeah. So Derrick
he had his chick in the bonnet on a makeup video. So yeah, nah, Derrick Jaxn, he's the like leader of that. We got to put some respect on it, man. He's the innovator of the pandering and the simping.
Yeah, okay. I stand corrected, man. You know.
Yeah. Yada was tail end, but he's definitely in the Olympics. He's definitely holding the silver medal. Like he's on that podium. Like if you want to like rank him, yeah, he's definitely on one of those. He's standing on one of them blocks. But yeah, he did create it though. Nah, that's Derrick Jaxn.
Oh man, well, I guess I'm gonna be expecting to see more Sims, man, for the 2025 Simp Olympics, man.
Oh yeah, no, they going deep. Chad Ochocinco.
Oh,
okay. He might be he's definitely top 5, but.
And then let's see. But yeah, salute to everybody that's tuning in. All right, let's go ahead, man. We're gonna play the video. But you know, Shannon Sharp, Stan, he can no longer be in the Simp Olympics Awards. He red pilled himself out of it. Remember last year, he was like, "Oh yeah, he a super simp."
I don't trust none of these. He's an athlete. You know what? He's an athlete. The year is young.
I would say he's in the top 10. Probably honorable mention because he was wearing that orange man purse. So he's got to be like, we still got to gig him for that. My man had a green jumpsuit on with an orange man purse. So he's got to just be in the vicinity of simping. So something ain't right. Because my man got out of there like, he had his back arched. So yeah, he got to.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's Maybelline. I don't know. Like
for Hollywood though.
Look, it's the beginning of the year. that's good he said what he said. Athletes, you got to watch how they live it. They can say anything they want, but their action screams something else.
I don't know, but Shannon be a little. He had the one little sound video with what was her name, Michelle, where he's grunting. He's like Michelle, Michelle. You know, so you know he ain't really been caught up in no. I say super tricking stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's on a. That's what I'm saying. He's on the cusp, man. We can't put him all the way in there.
I'm telling you proof.
Look, man, Unc's been watching our videos on the low key, man. He saw a clip of something. He's like, no, I got to get out of the Simple Olympics award, man.
Yeah, I got detached from this shit.
Yeah, and he did his best though. Good job, Chad Sharp. But let's go ahead, man. We're gonna go ahead and play this. Fair use as always. And again, credit goes towards Angryman for producing this video or reacting to this video because reacting to him reacting to that video.
Listen, if a man asks you what you bring to the table, that man has a low credit score. Straight up. He's not even asking you. He's just revealing his hands.
Real quick, all right? So I don't care if I ask any woman what she brings to the table or what she has to offer, because you know why? I have an excellent credit score. No debt whatsoever. So now that is. But still, let's go ahead and continue.
His cards. He's doing this. Here's the situation. I got low credit. What do you bring for the table so that I can get a cosigner on that new challenger?
I mean, who started this? What effeminate man started this whole thing about what does a woman bring to the table? What table? It's my table.
Yeah, I was hoping I wasn't going to have to
go ahead, pause
this,
real quick.
But as I can see, it's starting to catch.
So those first two guys, both of them,
and
that's what I'm saying, man. And that's one of the first pushbacks I had, me and Manic, when we first came on, man. And I was charged up because, you know, like the saying goes, real recognize real. We know those ain't masculine men. Like, and not to be mean, anytime like a guy equates masculinity to paying, you already off the rip, man. I'm telling you guys, just ignore them dudes, man. Masculinity is everything outside of a female. You know, so only on internet have guys turned like paying for everything. And that's fine if you do it for a female that earns it. I have no pushback for that. But to sit there and be like, well, if a guy wants to vet a woman out and ask some questions, equate that to like feminine energy or whatever the hell that one guy said, that is the dumbest shit ever, you know? And that's what I'm saying. So as a guy, you're supposed to be a man of action. You're supposed to be like, for example, like push yourself to the limit, whether it's physical, mental, you know, whatever accomplishments you do that you challenge yourself. That's what you need to, you know, define as masculinity. And the reason why you need to do that is because once you kind of go down that path, you don't care if people throw shots at you. You don't fear, like, because a lot of times guys got that group think where it's like, okay, damn, most guys are saying if I do this, I'm not going to be perceived as masculine. So, I'm going to play into the crowd. And those same guys that's going to be throwing shots at you, those would be the same guys like, hey, their chick probably got them in check. They scared as hell to ask any questions because they ain't got no standards at all. So their whole like qualification just to be with them is just like, hey, show up, be pretty, and here's my money. So as a man, you got to be smart enough to be like, I ain't trying to be like none of y'all. And you can't be scared to be alone. And I think that's the issue with a lot of guys where they fear of like, hey, if I have a different stance on shit, and guys might be like, oh, that's lame, that's corny for you to ask that question. You know, they don't want that pushback. But you just got to realize, like, hey, the reason why they can't ask that question is because, first of all, they scared as hell. They're weak as fuck. And they don't have no qualifications. So those are going to be the same guys that's going to be over there crying with Tyrese in divorce court. Like, man, I can't believe she took all that. I thought she was different. You know, so don't be dumb. Because I'm also on the internet now. I'm sorry I'm ranting. I'm almost done. But everybody's turning masculinity into stupidity. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna ask some questions. Damn it, what you bring to the table? Not because I'm broke. It's because, A, I don't need nobody sitting at my house cleaning shit. I'm a whole adult. I could clean after myself. So you got to come with a different type of value to be with me. So it's just like some of these guys, they only demand the basics. And that's fine. That's how you live your life. But don't roll everybody up into your lack of credentials that you want from somebody. And I think that's the biggest issue. It's just like, hey, just because y'all don't really want no value other than just looks, don't mean like some guys like myself ain't gonna go and ask these questions, because you got to bring something. I'm a grown ass man. I'll do my own damn laundry. How we gonna like move to that next level? And so we both build. So I'm just not the only one taking on the burden. So I'll kick it over to y'all, man. I know I've been talking for a minute.
No, I'm just listening. I agree. I guess my take into it is like when it comes to these dudes, like, and you have like these type of like channels where you're really you're spreading like a divide, like in certain communities, in genders as well too, just to make, or just to get a fan base of people who would love to like hear you tell them lies. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like it's easier to like have a podcast if you know the demographic and you know what they like to hear. And so you keep feeding them this garbage that you don't even believe in your own self. That you probably, by the end of the day, you probably laugh your way to the bank. But then you don't really care, or you don't really kind of see that what you say actually affects like a person's like mindset and decisions. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it definitely does.
So, like guys like that be talking about that stuff, like I really get disgusted, to be honest with you. Because I do my best, well, all of us do our best to actually give the reality on both sides between men and women. But you're gonna always have that group that's always gonna look for some type of lie to make them feel good, but ultimately destroy them at the end. Oh, and shout out to everybody that's watching us on the IG Live. Shout out to Sangeeta.
Yes.
Shout out to the King Dean. Shout out to Party Time Transformation, which I know who you are. But shout out to you guys for watching.
But just to kind of, sorry about that. Go ahead, Stan. My bad.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, whenever I see a white person take on talking points that we have covered years back and is now coming to the forefront, one, I see a white man that's coming in for black dollars, just like a minister, those TV ministers that come in and they target black people. Because a lot of times you hear, well, white people don't do this and white people don't do that. And I'm just like, yo, Three Company was all white and they roommate. They went 30-30 on rent and everything else in their expenses. Laverne and Shirley went 50-50. Kate and Allie.
Laverne and Shirley.
And they were single women. Kate and Allie, divorced moms, went 50-50. They like, look, I'd rather not move into the project, just go ahead and go half on this house, right? Mm-hmm. You look at this stuff, and then you look at Friends. They all went 50-50. They were roommates, but like, and there was a couple of white men that came on the platform, and they were part of the forefront of the MGTOW movements, right? And then I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible, but feminism did start because white women wanted some rights, and they used black women to move forward on their agenda. So I have to like, when I see a white man coming in and talking about on the table, and knowing full well that white people do go 50-50 on their relationships. And I've seen it in college. There's a reason why they got a chance to go to Europe every summer. It wasn't because he went ahead and paid everything. And they live on something called a budget. And they'll eat rice and ketchup every day to go to Europe. So it's going to be a rude awakening for some people when they think that white is right and it's not. But hey, go ahead and discover America.
But I honestly, I don't even think it's a color thing because I see a lot of black panderer dudes, man, and I just think, man, a lot of, I'll say like unmasculine dudes, man, they see YouTube as an opportunity to kind of like change their identity and shit. Because like I said, only on YouTube where you don't really have to prove masculinity. And what I mean by that is just like, you know, man, I've been doing like, you know, I was a wrestler, boxing, kickboxing. You know, last year I was in a tournament and shit, won that Army Ranger and shit. So I spent my whole life like kind of like challenging myself as far as like outside of a female. So I know what masculinity is because I've just been in those environments. And, you know, I don't never come out here try to be no tough guy because I just don't think you need to go out and prove yourself to anybody. I think you should, masculinity is a journey with yourself, proving yourself, you know, and I think everybody has different journeys and shit. But, you know, when you kind of go through that path, man, you just understand what it is. It's more of like what they say, mental toughness and shit. But I think a lot of guys, because they, you know, probably always took shortcuts in life, never really challenged themselves, whatever it is, you know, whatever challenge you might see in your life. They just saw, you know, YouTube as this opportunity to come out here and, you know, reinvent themselves to the masses and stuff. So typically when a guy's like, oh, you should have asked any questions, you know, already that's a dumb statement because it's just like, hell nah, you need to ask a ton of questions. I say, and I flip it because I know a lot of females give pushback like, oh, why would you ask that question? I've seen one female saying, you know, it's kind of rude to ask that question. But I'm like, hey, if you, a valuable person is not going to see that as like a hard question to answer. A person that's not trying to use you is not going to be, you know, offended by that question. And it's funny because I always try to test shit out before I even like come with an assumption. Cause I'm like, man, maybe I'm off base. So I asked my wife, I was like, hey man, what would you do if I like, we first met and I asked you what you bring to the table? She was like, man, I'll laugh. But she was like, I'll answer the question. She was like, I bring loyalty, commitment. You know, I'm willing to do whatever's required for the household. You know, I'm good with finances. She was like, just spitting off stuff. Then I called my sister. I was like, hey, how would you answer this question? She was like, pretty much damn near the same list. So when you ask females that have that value and ain't coming there to take advantage of you, they're not going to have an issue of answering these type of questions because they're coming there for like genuine purposes. But a female that's just coming there to take, oh, she's going to be offended. You know why? Because she ain't going to bring no value. She's coming there to take advantage of the situation. So that's where like a lot of these guys, they don't understand. Well, they understand, but they just don't care because really money is all they have to offer. They don't have no game. They've been probably terrible with females their whole life. So they're just set to a certain circumstance where it's like, hey, I got to kick out this money. So I got to project like that's masculinity because this is what I succumb myself to. So it's like, I'm going to push this out. Like every guy needs to do this. This is what the new masculinity is. Now, fuck you being able to like fight. You can run like 5 miles. That's not masculine. Masculine is just paying for every damn thing. So yeah, that's what they're trying to do. It's just like, man, it's a bunch of dudes reinventing themselves, and because they ain't got no other like characteristics, attributes, no personality, it's like, hey, I gotta lead with the wallet. Yada be doing it like you were saying earlier, M3. He's infamous for it. My man like 5'2" with some Gucci glasses on, talk about like, hey, you need to pay 300,000. So hey, we know what it is now.
But you know, the flip side of that, SJ, is that later on, when it comes up, it's going to be thrown in your face that you never asked and you should have communicated it. And it's your fault for not communicating. Even though she did say, how dare you ask those questions?
But see, and that's a good point, Stan, because yeah, I mean, it's going to fall on you anyways when it don't work out. Look, I mean, Kevin Costner, what's the other one that the girl took a shit on his bed? The one that was in Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp.
Yes.
I mean, we see all these celebrity guys that got way more money than everybody. Like, they get took to the cleaners. And you know why? Because they ain't asked no fucking questions. Because they was like under that same impression, like, oh, you just get her and you pay and eventually she'll conform to you and she'll be nice to you, she'll rest in her femininity, and we just see it. That don't work. So it's just like the dudes that's intentional, that ain't scared to ask them questions to get the right person that aligns with them, they tend to fare better. I'm not even saying that, you know, your marriage is going to be 100%, because that's not the case, but at least in those cases, you get somebody that likes you, it's going to be an amicable split. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
nah.
You know, and I agree with you guys, and that's ultimately that's what people should be looking for. So if you already like a successful man in your own right, and you want to look for quality women, look for actual quality women. Okay, but I know the mistake, as always, you get a lot of money, and you look for, I can't even call them quality looking women, but you're looking for women that just look good with no substance, like, you know, to back herself up with. And a lot of them, they know that. And so once you train them that you don't have to have a personality, you just have to look good in order for you to be with a baller, that's all they're going to really come with. And then later on, once like the sex and the novelty wears out, now you try to look for the substance when you should have been looking for that in the beginning of it. So
Yeah, no, that's spot on. Because the money shit is short term. Because the sad thing is, a lot of people got this shit pegged out. They know, like, 10 years, I ride this out, I get a couple kids. We see Jimmy Butler. That's the new one. We're gonna break that down this week. But he's paying out $65,000 a month in child support. So these females know these laws and shit. So it's like, man, you could keep lying to yourself. We got enough examples. And this is what wisdom is. This is what smart dudes do. They ask questions. And that's what I realized when I was younger, because I just analyzed. I saw like uncles and friends of family. I saw the ones that had like great results. They operated from the circumstance like, I'm asking these questions, I'm getting the female that actually like me. And the one side of my family, the uncles that got cleaned out, they was the ones that was always fixated on beauty, ain't ass shit. So at an early age, I was like, hey, I need to maneuver like the ones that got the like good outcomes. And it's a smaller pocket. And that's what guys got to start realizing. And that's what I was saying earlier. I'm like, you can't do everything like the masses. They're going to tell you like everything's corny, you're lame. But you start digging in their background. Cats had like divorces, been cleaned out before. So it's just like, man, if you want to be a winner, man, go find the winners and don't be scared to operate by yourself, man, because like I ain't never been in no ring with anybody, whether it was like wrestling, like I said, and kickboxing, and we asked each other like, hey, are you masculine? Have you ever asked a chick if what she brings to the table and stuff? Nah, that topic never comes up. So it ain't no form of masculinity. So when you see them guys up there talking about that shit, like, oh, it's feminine and all that, man, just shut your laptop down. And don't be scared to ask no questions. If you're scared to ask a question, you already ain't masculine to begin with. And it's funny because I be talking to a lot of dudes and I be like, hey man, did you talk to your female about this, finances? They be like, nah, man, I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to offend her. I'm dead serious, man. And that's the reality. So a lot of these dudes, like I said, they're trying to like reposition masculinity, because the reality is they're scared to ask questions because they're scared to offend the female that they talking to, because she'll leave. And that's the reality of this shit. It ain't about no masculinity. It ain't about no lame. It's like any dude that's scared to ask any questions, you just a punk. You're gonna eat that. I'm gonna make you eat it. God damn it.
SJ, you're telling the truth, because I know we're going to do a college show on Monday, but that's one of the red flags and why some guys will not get married to certain women. Not say all, and we don't mean complete all, so don't come at us like not all. We all know about that. It's not all. There's nothing that's complete all. However, coming in with $300,000 in college debt, some men are not going to marry those women at all, because they have college debt themselves, but it's like they're working on a field that they need their debt levels, you know what I'm saying? Because even in certain jobs, they're looking at your credit scores. So when you're getting married and you have that big debt and you haven't paid it off, or or at least take another class so it could be in deferment. And I'm gonna put allegedly, so it could be in deferment. It stops a lot of relationships here in the Bay Area, because Bay Area it's about finance when people get together here.
Yeah, so Stan, like, and that's why I said, like, man, people are confusing masculinity. They're almost making masculinity where it's like you need to be dumb. And if that's what I'm saying, it's like, hey, if that's y'all version of masculinity, I want no part of it, because I'm not gonna be no stupid motherfucker, man.
No,
and like
right.
you said, you need to analyze everything, because it's like, yeah, if somebody got a lot of baggage, I don't give a damn who it is, man or female. Like, that's gonna hold you back. Because literally, I got a couple friends where it's just like they're interested in some people, but they got a ton of debt, and I'm like, hey, man, by the time like y'all address that debt, you're going to be in your 40s and shit. You guys got kids. You're not going to be able to build. So why don't you go get a female there's females out here that got their shit together, that understand finances. So it's almost like there's a smart portion of guys that's like, nah, I want a female that's, got her shit together like I got my shit together. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for some reason, it's just like a lot of men in this space. It's almost like, since I took a shitty deal, my chick ain't really bringing shit to the table. It's almost like some hate type shit where it's almost like, how we talk about what the females do. It's like they are doing bad. They want to pull the other females down to it. That's what a lot of guys are starting to do. It's like, hey, I took this bad deal. I want y'all to take this motherfucker with me. But you know what? I'm going to phrase it as like, you guys aren't masculine. So that's all that shit is. And it's like, nah, be smart, analyze all that shit, because you're supposed to get somebody that's equally yoked. So if you got your shit together, go get somebody that got their shit together. Broke needs to be with broke, goddammit. I ain't taking that on. I'm sorry. Like, I work with a lot of females that just have their shit together, man, and they do exist. So it's like, man, I be telling guys, like, man, you ain't got to take no bad deal to prove yourself to some other idiots on YouTube. Fuck that. I'll be over here by my goddamn self.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But my bad, man. I know we wanted to get back to Angry Man about to cook on this one.
All right, yeah, no problem. But yeah, we'll get to the video.
Fire and run amok. So let's go ahead and address it. Check this out.
Listen, if a man asks you what you bring to the table, that man has a low credit score. Straight up. He's not even asking you. He's just revealing his hands, his cards. He's doing this. Here's the situation. I got low credit. What do you bring for the table so that I can get a cosigner on that new challenger? I need somebody to move into the house and cut my rent in half. Please. That's what he's asking, folks. If he's asking what you bring to the table, he wants to know how much money you make so that one day you can sign off on that car note. But I can make the payments, I promise. That's what it means. That's the real answer. Men that ask women those kinds of questions harbor a real resentment for women. They got a poor financial situation and harbor resentment for women because they feel that women don't have it as hard as them, financially speaking, blah, 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 which isn't fucking true anyways. But they feel like women have an easier time of it because ballers will be happy to date women that come from all walks of life. And hell, men will marry the waitress. They don't give a shit. And men recognize that, and they think that life is so hard and unfair for them. And they have to work so hard. So if I'm going to date you, what are you going to bring to me? That sounds like a man that just doesn't have his house in order, or a house at all. Ha! Or even a house at all. His house isn't in order. What house? What table? Did the table come with the apartment that you're renting? Does it come fully furnished already? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit pause real quick. I'm sorry. That guy need to come out the closet. He just need to come out the closet straight up, man. Like that shit look like a confessional. Like, nah, but see that's what I'm telling you, man. Like, instead of them just saying like, "Hey, man, I'm not the best with females, so this is what I have to do in order to get females." I'm just stuck in that tier of dudes that gotta pay. And that's what they should be saying, but it turns into one of those things. Like I said, it turns into the whole masculinity thing on YouTube, where it's like, oh, you guys are broke. Because like men like him, they know like if they try to create a divide with men as far as finances, it's like they are going to pull some females, because there are some gullible chicks that's like, oh my God, he got money. Oh, you go, guy. Like, yeah, you pay for everything. So, I mean, they're going to pull some stuff off of it, but it's, you know, those females that they're going to attract are going to be the ones that's going to use them. So that's what I'm saying. It's just, it's short term, man. And it's just like, if you got to rely on that, man, that you just pretty much like signaling that you don't have like that, like I said, the characteristics, anything else to pull a chick on genuine terms and stuff. So a lot of guys, it's not about finances, because pretty much any adult in America could pay for themselves. The issue is like, do I want to sit there and expand my the finances that I got to be responsible for if I date somebody else? That's what people are assessing. It has nothing to do with if they can handle their own bills. Because first of all, you wouldn't even be dating a person that could have paid their own shit. So that's what makes the whole conversation dumb. It's like, no, most people could pay for their own shit, but a lot of guys are just kind of started assessing it. Like Stan was saying earlier, like, hey, what type of baggage do you have? Because I'm cool being by myself and waiting for the right person. So a lot of people just ain't pressed to just jump into any relationship. So a lot of guys like this, man, they latch on. They're dependent on relationships for their validation. So really, that's what this is. It's that's why I said it's a lot of sick people, man. So they're just projecting what they have to deal with on everybody else. And they're trying to like convince you like you're fucked up, when really you're the solid person. You're like, nah, I got my shit together. I'm looking for somebody to build so we can hit different levels. We can hit different heights. You know, I'm financially savvy. I want somebody that's financially savvy. So it's like, I ain't falling for that trick. Hell no. Like, you got to come here with something. I don't need nobody like to throw clothes in a washing machine. That don't do shit for me. You know, I got robots that can sweep my floor. Like, I don't need nobody sitting at home for like 8 hours to watch robots sweeping my floor for me. You know, I got a dishwashing machine. Shout out to modern conveniences. Like, I don't need none of that. So like, hey, how about we both go to work? Now, if we both pull our resources together, man, now we can chill, we can hang out, we could get meal preps where we ain't sitting there slaving, and we could take vacations with each other. We could plan for retirement faster. We could pay down our house mortgage versus 30 years to 10 years. So that's the smart shit people are talking about. So, but they want to pin it as like, no, or you're broke if you ask these questions, or you want this type of female. Oh, you shouldn't care what a female does and stuff. It's like, not everybody wants a dumb chick. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. I like me, I wanted a smart chick. I'm like, hey, I want a smart chick. Me and my wife, we sat down, we had those discussions. I'm like, look, I'm trying to win. And I want somebody that wants to win with me. We both could be on that stage. It don't have to just be me up there. I'm not one of them dudes. I don't got like low self-esteem, or I'm not insecure about shit. Like, I want somebody smart with me. I want all winners around me. That's how I always been, man. Whether it's friends or relationships. So a lot of dudes, they just honestly, they want to be the one at the top because they feel that's what gets them the leadership. But it's just like, if you have to pay for leadership, you really ain't got shit. You know, you got some mercenaries around you. And I know about mercenaries because I was one. Like, you don't cut my check, I ain't about to go and show up for work. So, you know.
Yeah. Damn, man. All right, let me just share a story real quick, right?
Is she Hispanic in the story? No, I'm playing with you. I mean, you're a Hispanic killer.
I mean, you know what? I'll say a little mixture, right? You know, maybe white, Hispanic, well, mostly Hispanic, but yeah, you know, it's always a like Latino story. But besides the Latinos, right? I think one of the things that I'm kind of noticing is that, you know, and I think even someone like with some, well, I don't know, I guess some with black women, right? It doesn't really matter about like, I don't want to give out the wrong message, right? Your financial situation, meaning that you don't have to be a baller to get a woman, especially a woman high quality. Like, in my opinion, to get someone that has like a high quality caliber, like a high quality mindset, it starts off with just by you having that mindset of your own, regardless of like your financial status. Now, you should want to be ambitious. You should want to do better, do the best that you can, right? To elevate. Unless you're in California and they just trying to like, get you stuck, but you can still do the best that you can. And what I mean by that is that like a lot of these topics that these men keep throwing out there, whereas like if you salutes to Miss Polly, right? She says lies. Men don't care about women being smart. They just want sexual access. Yeah.
No, but she got a point. Most don't, man.
Yeah.
Most don't. And they communicating it. They're like, hey, you can work at fucking IHOP, and fuck with me. So they don't. And that's why, like, they'll be them same dudes that be saying that type of stuff. They'll be the same ones like, whoa, women foul 80% of the time. It's like, well, no shit. She worked at IHOP, man. Like, she ain't take shit serious. She ain't take her own life serious. You think she gonna take your shit serious?
Right. I get, okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just looking, whenever I read that, I guess I'm looking at my own sense, right? Because I'm like, I want somebody that has like some type of qualities like in her. And sometimes I run into the persons, right, where it's like they're overqualified within my financial thinking. You know what I mean? Like there's women that's like in HR. There's women that has a lot of good like careers going on. That so far I've been encountering and talking to. But
see, M3, you're secure in self, man. And when you're secure in self, man, you're like, look, regardless what we do, man, we're gonna come together in some sense. Whatever it looks like, but we're gonna rock together. And I'm not nervous of how you perform. I got with you because you're a winner. So that's the reality. But what I'm seeing more and more is a lot of guys ain't like that.
I guess that's what throws me off, because I feel like sometimes I feel like, whoa, am I supposed to like, feel like what the guys feel, but I just don't feel it, so I don't understand.
Hell nah.
No, you don't feel what they feel. Don't be a follower. Hey, well, what's up, Miss Polly? Hey, what I noticed with that guy, first of all, I'm insulted. He gonna mention Hellcats. Like, sir, who you talking to? About Hellcats. And last time I checked, they passed that ghetto mobile around like from the Dollar Tree. They selling penny candies and they passing that stuff around. All you need is deposit and some form of an income, and you got yourself a Hellcat. It don't matter about no credit score. Number two, you up here not looking into the camera, so I got suspect. You looking away from the camera, doing funny gestures and twisting your neck and all this other stuff.
Like snapping.
You okay? Like you on the side of the sister. It's like, okay, so you two is in competition for black penis. So while I'm looking at him, I'm like, you two, sir, want some black penis, and you talking about all that. And I'm sorry, it's like Derrick Jaxn. You can't look into the camera because you live in that life. Because it's a camera. You're not in front of people. You're in front of a camera. And he kept on looking away. Like, why are you looking away? What's going on? So already, I don't trust you. Trust nothing you have to say. But you know what? Since Mojo Jojo is out, nobody trusts Yado Awakening. Fugazi is Fugazi. The final form of a panderer is a white man. And here he is.
Yeah, he was like, look, he probably work at Dillard's. He's like, look, I gotta get this YouTube money.
And that's the final form of a panderer is a white man.
That's
a white man. Here we are.
Don't do that.
Wait, before you guys continue, I gotta give like a happy birthday shout out to Marcus. I don't know how old he is now, but
He's 79.
Happy birthday, Marcus.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
You
Marcus.
just want to make it known that, his birthday was last week and no one cared to, send him a Cash App or a gift card or whatever, to IHOP and TJ Fridays. But happy birthday, Marcus,
Happy birthday, Marcus and Frosty.
But Miss Polly, so you said most men don't want a smart female. That's your sentiments. What they want?
I just think they could care less. That's all. That's fair. I don't think they want that. I don't think most men want sexual access, possibly some children, and the rest is history.
Nah, I agree with you on that.
I don't know. To be honest, like most guys aren't. Y'all can lie. Sometimes I like to be lied to occasionally, but usually not.
Miss
You
Polly,
can lie to me. Some people like to get lied to. I don't know. I don't really like it.
That's some truth.
Some people like that. They like that lie. That lie get them through the day. Lies get you through the day. That's okay.
Hey, Miss Polly, but you love those sweet lies,
Huh? I speak lies?
You love those sweet lies. What's that song called? Those sweet
tell
something?
me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Oh yeah, the sweet little lies.
Sweet
Little lies.
Won't you tell me lies?
I do have concerns about this, but it's fine.
No, what's up?
You guys know what I'm talking about. Most gentlemen just want to have sexual access, have a woman who's gonna put out that's fair to say that. I think that's what most of them look
other
for.
important aspects, attributes, Miss Polly. She can cook.
That's what. Okay.
We got cooking. I see, you're doing your thing with your cooking show, and
I don't know.
You're losing a lot of weight for sure.
I
cooking thing.
try and lose some weight. That's very true. I'm trying to lose some weight, but that's not what these people trying to do.
Nah,
I don't know, guys. Maybe I have a bad attitude today. I'm gonna take responsibility for my my foolishness. I'm gonna take responsibility, but I do think most men just want to, and especially since I just recently got on a date. I've been kind of looking in the dating apps. I've been scanning, and these men out here, it's really disgusting. To be honest, it's disruptive and disgusting. Makes me want sick. Yeah, it's like the same. Well, I'll put it. I haven't been on the app for a couple years now, but I went on there. I kind of felt like I felt ill. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying I felt it just was like maybe it's the kind of gentleman that's on there. I don't know right now. I'm not gonna be rude. But
is this from the Kendra G app?
No. Actually, I didn't get on that one. No, on that one, I haven't been on there. No, this one, I'll say it's straight Facebook. This for right now. I went on Facebook. I found the partner I've been with now for over a year and a half on there, but maybe I don't know.
Wait a minute, you was the Kendra G show, so you ain't trying out the app?
Wait, hold on, wait. You went on Facebook dating, right? That's what you're looking for, right? On Facebook dating app?
I'm on a couple apps.
Oh, okay.
So, but that is one of the ones I use.
So you feel like most of the dudes is just looking for a hookup type thing? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you can tell. And what makes it bad is that the fact that right now, that instant gratification. These men can't, shoot, if you're going to lie to me, at least lie longer than 72 hours. God damn. Shit. And the lie lasts long. Damn. I'm finding y'all out in 6 hours. Damn. Lie to me longer. So. You getting caught up in you can't make it through 72.
But Miss Polly, we are in hookup culture. Like, it's been going on
it's
for
too
over a decade.
much. I know, it's stressing me out. And I kind of like the older ones, anyway. But anybody, even my age, it's concerning. It just gives off really bad energy. And then y'all might say, "Oh, well, Miss Polly, you have Polly in your name." I'm like, I know. Half of them don't even know what the hell that means. They be like, "Oh, that was your name." So at the end of the day, if that's the case, that makes it even worse. So you thought I was monogamous and you was acting like that. Okay, thank you.
I was some of my friends. I was like, she's Miss Polly, not Miss Swinger. Those are two different lifestyles.
I can't. It's sickening. I can't do it. I'll be having full conversation. I'll be like, you know what? Today was a good day. How's the sunshine? They'll be like, oh, you want to see some dick? Like, whoa, pause,
Damn.
sir.
Damn. So they straight to it, huh?
What?
I don't even know your last name. You don't even know my real name. And you handing out dick. Okay, well, shit.
Damn.
Oh my Lord.
Damn.
Yeah, I got to do a PSA to all the men. Please do not give women your P print, your PP prints, PP photos, and PP videos, because they will send it out to everybody and screenshot your name on those. So that you'll be a joke on Twitter. Just be careful. If she didn't ask, don't give.
It's a lot of energy. It's just a lot of, like you said, it just was a lot. I can't even get the lie. Shoot, they said F the lie. I mean, shit.
Yeah, they straightforward with it.
And I'm like, okay. And they'd be like, oh yeah, like you want to meet? You want to meet now? I'm like, now? Like, no, maybe you can talk to me a little bit. Like, I don't want to waste my time. I gotta say, we gotta keep gas in our car and stuff.
So Ms. Polly, they bringing baby oil to the table. That's what they're doing. They bringing baby oil to the table.
No, see, no.
They bringing baby oil to the table, not you. They are bringing baby oil.
See what I'm talking about? This is the kind of energy that needs to be stopped immediately.
Well, hold on, because I don't want people to be confused, right? But
okay,
when you're using like a dating app, I say okay, it's cool to like try to like go at things at your own pace and not feel like you have to rush everything. But let's say like I asked like maybe up to 2 or 3 questions. Okay. Right? By that time, I don't want to continue to pursue like a conversation if I don't really have like a FaceTime or like a field chat with you. Because now it's a difference between me on a social media app versus me seeing a person. You know what I mean? So Miss Polly, you're like, if I already, met you around in person, or I already see you virtually like a couple of times. So I'm not gonna rush and be like, hey, Miss Polly, right? Let's do a FaceTime so I could see you and we could have this conversation further or whatever. Even though that's my preferred communication style, because I like to be more personal, more direct, more vibey type. But when it comes to social media stuff, like sometimes like you don't want to waste that person's time and you don't want to waste your own time, and you damn for sure don't want to get catfished by some person that you don't really know because you're going by the pictures. I say respectful and appropriate manner of time is that get to know the person, ask a couple of questions, like maybe 3 or 4 questions or so, and then after that, just say, hey, look, if the person's vibing with you and you feel it, just make that offer, because they still want us men to be kind of like direct in some cases. Just not like, oh, hey, nice to match with you. Here's my number. Let me get your number.
Okay, so you bullshitting me right now. See, now this is the problem. Okay, I want you to stop immediately. This conversation got to stop. What you ain't gonna do, sir, is bullshit me. Okay, what we're not gonna do is that today. Okay, I can read you some of these bullshit messages. And I want you to tell me what in God's green earth has possessed these gentlemen. And I'm telling you, most of them don't even know I'm poly. So that's not the answer, gentlemen. The answer is, if I say, hey, yeah, you say, hey, we vibing. Can we have a conversation on the phone? No problem. There's video call. There's access. Let's do that. I'm talking about somebody saying, I want to meet you, and they had 3 sentences to you. Hey, how are you? I'm well. You want to meet tonight?
Yeah, obviously you was not listening to what I was saying this part. I'm just telling the guys, right, basically this is the proper way of what you should be doing, as opposed to being like the niggerish way and just be in for just the opportunity to have sex.
Oh, okay.
The sex is the byproduct. Look, I know y'all women don't listen, right? So it's okay. I forgive y'all.
No, but I think y'all just missed each other because both of y'all correct. Like, I just think you have a conversation with somebody, and I think a lot of dudes just ain't got no game, and they're not interesting. Because honestly, man, if you interesting, the shit's gonna solve itself anyways. Because it's just like, say you have a good conversation with somebody, you're not pressed, man. You're not under no like time limitation. You're not like, I gotta ask like a few questions, and I gotta ask for this next. You just sit there, be yourself, and if you're charming and say you got that person laughing, man, you're like, you know what, man, let's turn on the cameras, man. Let's chop it up on FaceTime. They're like, oh shit, and they gonna be turning that shit on, like. So that's why I'm saying I think dudes sometimes, man, they too thirsty and pressed, and they don't know how to be themselves, maybe because they don't got the personality, so they just jump to like what she's saying. They're like, they had like 2 seconds of a conversation. They're like, look, you want to meet up and see my dick or something? Like, no,
they haven't touched a woman
like,
in 92 years. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So you just, man, you have fun, and then like say y'all have a couple conversations. You're like, look, man, I'm about to, on Saturday, I'm going down to blah, 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 whatever. You more than welcome to come and meet me there. There's the invite. And I'm going there regardless, but you could come and show up there, and we gonna ball out. I'm gonna come there extra fly. She come there. It's on, man. But guys, they gotta be too pressed, man, and that's the issue.
Yeah. They ain't pressed. The real answer is that they really want to have. They're looking for, like you said, the hookup. That's what it is. And you know what? It may be true. Some of these guys use that as a way just to immediately go into that, and all the, it's just kind of childish. But maybe that particular app, I'm gonna give it that. No,
it's just the dudes, because like I said, even if people go out and you talk, man, I mean, that's the lead up anyways. It's gonna eventually get there, but they just so like fixated on it that they throwing it out there and they just fucking it up. So it's like what females say, like, hey, man, in my mind, I was already going to sleep with you. You just didn't have to fuck it up, but they fucking it up. So
I'll share my perspective, family. Hey, what's going on, family? Good to see you, Usher. Good to see you, Stan. And for you, Miss Polly.
Hi.
I'll share briefly, Polly. I will share my perspective, on this. What Miss Polly is talking about and what you guys are in reference to, this is happening because we have to understand the times that we live in. There are women who will be ready as soon as a guy says that. As soon as they say, hey, you want to hook up? There are women that say, okay, cool. When? We have a subculture of that. Just like we have a subculture of people who actually want people to talk, like Miss Polly's talking about, right? Miss Polly wants a man to be a gentleman, introduce themselves, have some conversation, take her someplace nice, show decorum and respect, right? But that's because of Miss Polly's her age and maturity and her mindset, right? You know what I mean? And I'm not calling you Miss Polly, you know that. So, you know what I mean? It's just based on those factors. She grew up in the time that we grew up in, right? Where we've seen real relationships and we've seen Cosby shows and Family Matters and things that, we've seen these things, right? We were raised on these things, so we understand how relationships should be or how they look like. But then we also have seen other things, right? We've seen a ratchet era, right? Which is not really manifested by us, but it's the ones under us. It's the ones under 35 and under, right? These are the people that move in a whole different vibration. They got the hookup culture, supremely, in them. You know what I mean? It's not even a thought. So they'll have 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies, within a span of 2-3 days. It's nothing to them. There's nothing to them, especially if they live in a major city. And that's why Shannon is shaking his head yes, because he knows there's nothing to them. These youngins is nothing to them. But once you reach a certain age group and you have maturity and you're level-headed, yeah, you like, man, why is this person just saying, hey, let's hook up and go here? Or let's hook up and do that? Because this is what they've been allowed to do. Yes, some of it is people just being, degenerates and other things as well. But the other half of it is that this is a real thing. Hookup culture is a real thing. You know what I mean? And it also is starting to fester into those who are more mature.
Yes,
Starting to fester into that
Lord.
too. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a I don't think I'm and for those who are in hookup culture, I'm not putting you down. Okay, so please understand that when I share my perspective on anything, not just share my perspective on Instagram about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, and some people are in an uproar or whatever. I don't really care. And I'm gonna do a show about that, about people jumping out the window for these rappers and entertainers, whether it's Kendrick or Drake, because they all are just here to keep you delusional and fooled. You know what I mean? Ain't none of them busting a grape in a food fight. You know what I mean? They not. None of these guys are tough. They all got security. Just please, you know what I mean? Don't let them make you jump out the window and possibly lose your freedom on your head. And I'll do a show
Oh
on that
Lord.
when I can. So yeah, so you know, we gotta understand that, you know, when it comes to social media and just the hookup culture, period. You know what I mean? These are things that really happen. People are really in real time doing these things, and they really in real time getting it in on different levels. You know what I mean? He said, "You no longer cool. You evolved to saber-tooth tiger." Wow, salute the indigenous black man. But but yeah. So with that being said, you know, I landed here. I think that, you know, when Miss Polly, when you see these men and they send these messages, please immediately block them. Or
I
you
mean,
control
I
them
want to
too.
do something, but it ain't that
You
would
can
set the whole phone on fire.
you
I
can
mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. Like
you
I
control
just
them. You control them as well, sister. You control them as well if you want to just have a little bit of fun, and then eventually block
like,
them. But
yeah. I mean, I'd be trying my best to just be like, what in God's green earth, you know? I think the best one was very confusing. Well, I don't know if it was the best one, but it was a funny one. Someone said, Jim was like, "Hey, how are you?" Um, and I'm talking, say, "Hey, I'm good." And I think it was like, I don't know. I'll say like a month ago. And then I had stopped talking, you know, obviously. I came back and I was like, "Hey, you know, I knew you were interested possibly to go out." And I was like, you know, I came back across the messages or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be nice to meet you or whatever. And I said, that's cool. And his next comment was like, so I like a woman who sucks because I like to eat. I just want to give you a heads up. So I don't know, like what I said. I don't know what I did. And I was like, well, if you're like into that kind of stuff, like that's like I'm not really into that, like, you know, that kind of culture. That's why I said to him, like, I'm not really into that. He's like, no, I just haven't been with a woman in like a year and a half, and I just wanted to put it out there. And I was like, that's a lot. But you know, like, where do you go with that? You know, like. And then he left his phone number because I didn't really reply. He goes, well, why didn't you say anything back? And I was like, that's a lot of energy, sir. And he's like, well, I haven't been with a lady in a long time, so I just wanted you to know. I'm like, yeah, but like, you know, you don't just throw that out there. Now this man is 42. So this isn't a young person, you know. Not saying 42 is not young. You get what I'm trying to say. They're not 20.
Yeah.
So it's like, why? What happened? Like, where did the conversation go? I don't know what happened. And and then he left his number. He goes, to be honest, I don't care, you know, if, you know, you feel, you know, like basically saying like he didn't feel if I was like upset. He just wanted me to know ahead of time. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's some weirdo shit.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't even know how to respond. See that? He made me speechless. Now that's
that definitely.
It's weird.
But all good points. Yeah, I do think like man, I think a lot of people, man, they just don't know how to communicate, man. And I think, man, they're so pressed that they don't understand. If they be cool, man. I'm not even saying it has to take a long time, but it's just like, man, you don't go directly to stuff because, you know, generally if somebody's out there and they're with you on a genuine thing and you got your shit together, like the build-up's gonna happen, man. I just think some guys, they just want to jump to it and they get awkward and they get weird with stuff. And that's what females like. I'm good, man. I ain't trying to be like end up in your trunk and shit. So,
Yeah, like it just like, and then sometimes the younger ones they a little bit too. It just everybody just seems like I said, it may be that particular, maybe that one, but I don't know. And then the other one, I went on another app. The other app seems a little bit better, but I don't know. It just kind of was just like a lot of tomfoolery. Like I said, can't get through 72 hours without like a heightened state of sexual, like, intensity. And I know people are going to say, well, you've been polyamorous. You seem to have this sexual energy, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, I like, no, for real. Like, but if I'm like really serious talking to a guy, I actually turn that off. Turn that shit all the way off. Because that's stupid. It's dumb. I actually, like, a lot of people don't know who, Miss Polly is. They don't know who that is. So you talk to them, it's just me and them. And that's cool. So I don't know what kind of energy I'm giving off, but apparently, even fully clothed, they don't care. It don't even matter at this point. You can be a winter polar bear, and they still, if they expect, see, I'm serious. It's bad.
I think guys confused because they'll listen to people and they be like, "Hey, man, be direct." But when people saying be direct, it's like be direct with like your plans and stuff like that. Let them know like you're interested. But it's like don't be direct with the weirdo shit. So I think that's where they get confused. So
they need some help. They're trying to tell me need some milk.
Yeah, nah, facts. They need some help. Yeah. But
yeah.
You want to?
Yeah. We could get back to the video.
Yeah, I want to see what Angry Man about to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
But shout outs to people who was watching like B-Eazy Dat Dude, Lena, and Colin Mitchell, man. Shout outs to these guys for watching like on the knowledge relationships.
Shout out to Indigenous Man. Where you been at?
I know he been very indigenous, man. What's up? You been hiding out, sleeping on the rock in your little man cave? All right, let's go ahead, man, and continue this video.
And this one.
I mean, who started this? What effeminate man started this whole thing about what does a woman bring to the table? What table? It's my table. I built it or I bought it. And I furnish it. I provide the banquet. I provide the feast. That's my table. I don't need someone to bring something to it. You're a guest at my table. That's what a man does. You provide. Everything that you acquire, everything that you accumulate, everything that you achieve, you're supposed to be achieving for the sake of being able to provide. That's the nature of a man, to provide. Where's your hospitality? Can you imagine? This isn't a potluck. This is my feast. This is my banquet that I'm providing for my guests. All I expect from a guest is that they be a respectable and a respectful guest, a pleasant guest. That's all I ask. You don't have to bring something. If I need you to bring something to my table, then I'm not ready to have guests. I haven't prepared my feast. I haven't prepared my banquet, and I'm not ready to entertain anyone. But if I'm ready to entertain anyone, then I sure don't need you to bring anything. I'm the one who's providing. And all you have to do is be appreciative. That's the only thing that's required. And if I do my job properly as a host, then it's very easy for you to do your job as a guest. That's the nature of it. This whole concept of what do you bring to the table? And you think that's manly? To declare to the woman that you need something, that you need her to bring something to the table because you're inadequate without her bringing something? No. You're the one who provides. That's supposed to be the nature of the relationship. You provide and she's appreciative and respectful and respectable. The same way that you would want anyone at your dinner table to be respectable and to be respectful. That's all that's required. But you don't expect people to bring their own dish when you have invited them to a feast, you've invited them to a banquet. That's not good manners. So this is very poor manners, in my opinion, and it's very unmasculine, it's very unmanly to ask women what they bring to the table and to ask them to bring anything to the table except for their own good manners.
Okay.
Hit pause real quick.
Okay, so to be fair, right, he's an old geezer, so he's stuck in like in the 1940s or so, right?
He's a boomer.
Huh?
He's a boomer.
Yeah, probably so, right? Well, I mean, well, yeah, pretty much. So he's gonna be stuck in his own ways. He probably like was one of those guys that he pretty much paid for his wife because he don't want no other man to spend money on his wife, and he don't want his wife to like leave him for someone else. So therefore, let me be the provider so I can make sure I keep stability in my household. But this is 2025. Things has changed. Bills need to get paid. Taxes are high. You live in California. Yes, a woman needs to offer something. Okay, look, I'm not about to go in debt. Paying these bills by myself, and in addition, getting a woman so I could pay for her meals and all that. Like, I get it if that was like like a wife type of woman or whatever. But even still, hey man, like if you married to me, one of the requirements is like you will be working no matter what. And 50-50, I'm a strong advocate for that. Or unless you decide that you want to go like 90-10, 90 on your part and 10 on my part, I don't refute to that. But the main thing is that like we have to at least contribute to something, and yes, it does have to be financial as well too, because man, it just make life harder for to just do all the work by themselves. Whether you're a man or a woman.
Let me
But
piggyback
don't let
off
him
what you.
lie. I just came in. I want y'all to stop lying.
What?
She on that mean
What?
stuff today.
No, I want the lies to stop. Okay. What's happening right now? Thank you, darling. Is that this economy is changing, y'all, gentlemen. What's happening is y'all can barely afford yourself. Now all of a sudden, we need that. How much shit? I need that. Now I'm starting to get tight. Y'all starting to think different. I want y'all to stop bullshitting me and these ladies. The truth is, the economy is changing, and our economy makes our relationships look different. And what's happening is you can't even afford yourself. And so now you need someone to help afford you and themselves. So now y'all gotta go 50-50. Now no longer does it look very enticing to take care of someone else and carry that load that's 2 times the amount it was before. So that's not bullshit.
And you know what, Miss Polly? TikTok has told you that's a lie. TikTok has shown that's a lie right there. Because y'all being homeless right now and homeless to eat some ribs. That's you purposely out going homeless to eat ribs. I'm sorry.
Homeless.
Because
that's not true.
We've already as men, we already talked about the hobo HOBO sexuals.
Yeah.
Winter is out here and they going with the big one. They know what to do. That's been going on forever. We already displayed the whole thing. The job that's going away, we're looking at it, right?
What?
We're looking at all the jobs that's taking place, that's being replaced by AI. Men didn't want to go 50-50. That was never a talking point. It's been more of a talking point that women say they don't want to cooperate. Women don't want to go 50-50. Women don't want to work it out. And you've been on this panel several times before, with your partners, and you guys have a percentage and you guys work it out and live a lifestyle. All we've been saying is encouraging people to do it. Men been want to do this. When you're looking at what's going on now with the Cheeto that's in the White House, where he's cutting off funding and he's cutting off Section 8 and he's cutting out the projects, that's not for men. We don't get none of those benefits. We don't get that. We don't get the food stamps. We don't get that.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't get that, right? But I'm just saying.
But
it will probably
again,
move women right now. Instead of going with these old talking points, y'all better invest in this man real quick before 2026.
Oh, you say invest in the man? Oh, Lord.
2030. Y'all better stop playing around and go 50-50.
Okay,
y'all being homeless,
I'll give you half. I'll give you half. I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to concede to your argument. I'm just going to give you.
Yeah, but that's
There's some women.
These streets.
No, I think the people who need assistance. Okay, those people who need assistance. Those women are in different situations. You talking about women who have full-on jobs. Those women who have full-on jobs. They ain't talking about the hobo capable in the house. They ain't talking about them.
But guess what? We did talk about it because there's a grown-ass men on TikTok that's teaching men on how to get in there because y'all going around for Tuesdays, margaritas or tequilas, and they going around beating it down till you go to sleep. And then Wednesday morning when you got to work, he's staying there oversleep, but you can't be late. And then when you come back, he already moved his stuff in, already got access to your Wi-Fi and changed his address to yours. And he's beating it down again, and you are going back to sleep.
You're right.
You got yourself
but them people are needed. He's doing a service, and you just got to pay for the service. As long as you're paying for the service, shouldn't be no issue.
But there's a full class on TikTok.
Yeah, that's a good class.
Before TikTok gets shut down again. But look, let me just say this, right? All right, so look, Miss Party, let me tell you the benefits, right? See, I gotta give you some financial education, okay? See, the benefits are right when a man and a woman goes 50-50 into the relationship, right? Like Stan says, right? You want to get a man, right, where I think he said you could build up or something, or on the starter period, right? Because here's the thing: if a woman is willing to contribute, right? You know, along with the man, not for the man, but along with the man. Think about how much money could be invested into the relationship. Meaning that I don't have to save my money, right? I don't have to waste my money just for a full apartment when somebody could pay it for me, right? Or half with me. That other money that I'm saving, right? I could invest that into the market. I could allow that money to grow. And over time, right? When you stick with me to the long haul, and that money starts accumulating with compound interest and while building generational wealth together, like you and I, you get to reap the benefit of it. But as long as you continue with this selfish...
No, you ain't reaping no benefit. You just said, wait, first off, you put money into a market ain't got nothing to do with me. So I ain't getting the benefit of you entering money into a market. You about to give me half for what purpose? That's a lie.
That's because you don't understand the bigger picture, though.
If you need help to pay your rent and you need me to pay half, just say that. That's all I'm trying to say. Stop trying to make it seem like you want to be in a relationship with me. You want a roommate and sexual access. And I'm okay with that, but just say that. Stop playing. Just say that.
Just say
that. I want sexual access and I pay half the bills. You get sexual access and I pay half the bills. High five. And then go on about your life.
You know.
Hold on. So,
where the white girl at? Where the white girl at?
Shout out to Miss Polly though. She doing it. I like she's giving that pushback.
Right.
But here's the reality, and shout out to my man Prime in there because he's facts.
Okay, go ahead.
You know when any dude that's like paying 100%, don't fall for the whole like roommate thing because these chicks is busted it open. And they dating. so the fact is, like, if you smart, you're gonna be like, hell yeah, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna pay half these bills because I know what you be doing when you dating. Ain't none of them dudes paying none of your bills and they getting access to your body. So I'm not gonna be the only guy that sit there and pay your bills to get some access. Fuck that. If you really like me, you gonna work with me. You should be giving the man that's gonna commit to you the best deal. So it's like, if I can't get the best deal, I'm cool being by myself. And guess what? We'll just hook up. And that's where guys got to stop being oppressed and, I got to be the one that do all this stuff. I got to...
No. Back to hook up or whatever, right? I'm not giving up my...
Hold on, over talking.
It's not men moving to luxury apartments. It's not men doing that part. It's not men bragging about staying in condos. It's not men taking girls trips about Jamaicans.
Stand lying on people. Don't let them lie.
But on the point I was saying though, like that's the reality. Everybody's out here doing all this shit for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna sit there and pay your bills while like you done had like 4 or 5 boyfriends that got your ass a hot dog from Sheetz. It was like
Yes.
clapping cheeks. I'm not gonna be the
Yes.
one, so that's the reality.
Hey, look,
You
ladies,
see
keep
this?
that
And y'all,
motherfucker
that's think about what you just said. Y'all saying that, but all those same guys have this. It's the opposite too. Y'all saying it like it's one direction. It's both ways. It's both ways. It's not one direction. Both is y'all. Listen, I'm being really maybe very blunt today. I'll accept that responsibility. I might have bad attitude this week, and I'll accept all of that. But I'm trying to say is stop BSing. The economy's changing, and that's just changing your ideas because the idea that you want a woman home and blah blah blah, that sounded good when the economy looked a different way. When it
Nobody
looks
wants
this
that.
way, when it looks this way,
No, I
It's
want
different.
you to work them. I want you to work them 12-hour days. I want
I
to give
know.
you this D. You're gonna go to sleep.
Well,
I'm
hey,
gonna play
I
my
mean,
Xbox.
you see this?
Wake you up to go back to work.
First off, I'm not trying to call nobody out. I'm not saying none of these men on this panel can't put down the D game, but what I'm trying to say is a lot of women out here ain't getting the D game given to them, right? And the same for
It
the
doesn't
guys, they
matter.
getting the
We put so much-
starfish. You don't want the
you know what?
starfish.
It's okay.
What's up?
Go ahead. There's people gonna teach you how to do it. Some of y'all
Wow.
basic anyway. Some of y'all
Wow.
basic. So
But Miss Polly,
it's
real
not that
quick,
hard.
I got a question for her. So was it that men's or did the economy actually change, or was it kind of the expectations and the wants for a lot of females that changed as far as like luxury and trips now? You know, because back in the day, you know, people wasn't going on cruises, all these Caribbean excursions. We didn't have like the luxury cars, luxury clothes, the cell phone plan. So was it the expectations that changed, or was it?
I don't think women's expectations have changed. I think they've always had high expectations in general. They always want the best, but it's what they could have got. You know, I think seeing other women get stuff and social media has obviously changed the perception that, you know, you can see a clip being ran over and over again. It could be a small portion of people getting that, but in your mind, it's everybody because that's all you see all day. So it could be maybe 10,000 women get that kind of lifestyle, but that's all you see when you're scrolling because your algorithm shows you that all day. So you think it's every woman. So your expectation is that you could possibly be one of those women. So I'll give that. But when it comes to them having high expectations, it's always been there. The man's gonna give them a lifestyle where they don't have to do these things and work and stuff. But men somehow were pulling off those things. So to some degree, but then some weren't. But I'm saying now is that it's like we feel like we're gonna get a shitty end of a stick. A lot of guys feel that way. And so now they're not starting off with, hey, you know what? I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. That's how I feel that I should be doing. Now it's like they're coming to the table like, oh, what's your part? You're gonna do this half, you know, because it makes them feel like they're not gonna get effed at the end of the day if something goes bad, which that's everybody, to be honest. You know, it's just what it is. You get in a relationship, it's a chance it may fail, and you're gonna take losses with that failure. And so everyone's trying to make sure they lose the least.
And by doing that, you go 50-50. So at least you got some place.
That's what I'm saying.
You
That's
got a
it.
nest egg, and you good.
That's it. That's all it is.
win-win.
It's a mechanism. So then, exactly, it's a mechanism to save yourself.
You being responsible.
Dang.
You being responsible.
You ask grown people to be responsible in this atmosphere. That's ridiculous.
And in this day and age, yes, a lot of grown people are just not grown.
They're not grown.
They still suck at age 8, 9, and 10. They're not grown. You gotta protect each other. Go pay half. Pay half. Because right now people can't even afford to pay the whole price.
I know.
Pay half. So
I know. All women pay half and just be happy.
It's physically irresponsible in the year 2025 to have talking points and have the expectation of a well-bodied adult who wants to sit down and lounge around like a damn house cat and be taken care of and allow their skills to be deteriorated so they could go around to be on Facebook and be a dependent for a grown person for
Yeah,
years and
yeah.
then come back later and sell a book that they were financially abused while you was willingly sitting there on your ass acting like a full-on damn cat. And not even, you're not even a furry. You're a full-on human being being a house cat. Y'all don't want to be nobody's roommate, but you're somebody's house pet. Stop it.
All right, we can get to the video.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess they understand the program. So there's this.
Where do we begin? And by the way, I hope this video goes viral because there are so many people on the internet that keep using this term, misusing this term, misunderstanding this term. And I'm going to tell you where the term came from because I know the exact person that said it and when he said it before it caught fire like this on the internet. But before I say that, let me first say this to the men like the two gentlemen. And I've seen, you know, not the first guy, the younger guy, but the older guy. I've seen him in other videos, and some of his videos are pretty good videos. But let me say this, and I mean this. It does not make you more of a man to come on the internet and try to virtue signal for women. It doesn't make you more of a man to come up here and pretend that other men are lesser than you because you disagree with something they said or, you know, the way they live their lives or whatever, right? And the fact that you misunderstand this term and don't know where it comes from and didn't really do any research on it, it's amazing to me. And knowing where this term came from and how it came about, to listen to you guys actually give your assessments on this without the proper information, I'm gonna be honest, it makes you sound like idiots. Now, for everybody that's watching, once I explain it, I want you to go back and remember every conversation where a man or a woman said, what do you mean? What do I bring to the table? I am the table, and you're the man. You're supposed to own the table and all of this. I want you to go back to every one of those conversations, and you're going to realize how stupid those conversations were, right? So, quick history lesson. A while back, a content creator by the name of BGS Ibmore was on a panel. You know, back then it was Google, whatever. It wasn't StreamYard, but he was on a panel. And we were having a conversation about the social contract. What is the social contract? The social contract is an agreement, an unspoken agreement between men and women in the traditional sense. In other words, men are expected to be providers, protectors, all of those different things. And women are expected to be the nurturers, to take care of the children, take care of the household, all of those different things, right? So in other words, it's a division of labor, right? Women have their responsibilities, men have their responsibilities. BGS Ibmore pointed out that the social contract was broken, not by the men, but by the women. The women, because of feminism, decided they no longer wanted to do the things that was expected of them as a woman, right? But they still expect men to do the things that's expected of men, providers, all of those different things, right? So because of this, a lot of men started abstaining from getting in long-term relationships. They started abstaining from getting married. So BGS Ibmore said, well, you know what? The thing about it is the social contract is broken and men are starting to abstain from getting married in long-term relationships. Now, after a while of this, eventually women are going to see this as problematic. Eventually, women are going to want to be married again and want to be in long-term relationships. If men continue to abstain or strike, sooner or later, the women are going to come back to the table to renegotiate the social contract. In other words, they're going to have to come back to the table and say, well, hey, you know what? We were wrong. If you're going to do what you're supposed to do as a man, which is be a provider, protector, all of those things that you're supposed to do, I need to bring my responsibilities and what I'm supposed to do to the table, to the negotiating table. Okay? So this is where men started to ask women, what do they bring to the table? It had nothing to do with men expecting women to do what the man was expected to do. It had nothing to do with men expecting women to be providers, you morons. It had everything to do with men expecting women to stop abstaining from their responsibilities, nurturing, taking care of children, cooking and cleaning, taking care of the household. So when you hear a man say to a woman, what do you bring to the table? He's asking her, are you going to come to the relationship and handle your portion, your part of the relationship, your division of labor? Or are you just going to show up and expect me to do everything and you just sit around and be pretty?
Like a house.
That's what it means. And the fact that you idiots are running around the internet saying ridiculous things like, well, I am the table and I shouldn't have to bring anything to the table. These men are not asking women to take care of them. They're not asking women to co-sign for cars and apartments. And they're not asking women to be guests at a table and, oh, you're the man, so you're supposed to, they're your guests. They only have to bring their manners. You don't know what you're talking about. And there are many of you that just need to shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Hit the pause button, M3.
Stated very clearly.
Facts, everything factual.
Yeah, nah. So he definitely cooking on that one, and that's what I'm saying. I get it. Everybody has their different dynamics and stuff, but that's what I'm saying. We got to get better in conversations. Is asking like, okay, say if Stan's pushing 50-50, like Stan, why do you want that type of relationship? And he could probably break it down logically. But what I see is a lot of people that don't want to hear different things. Those are typically people that just want to take advantage of somebody, because you should listen to what people, because I mean, that's what I did. Me and my wife, we did 50-50. I talked about it long enough, but it's just like, we did it to both excel, because we looked at a relationship and it was never no hard sell for my wife. It was just like, hey, we need to operate like this, because look, if, we both excel, we could both top off our 401ks, we could both invest, and it all goes to the house regardless. But it just makes sure that we're both building up. It ain't on just one person's back, because it's not like we're doing like construction or something like that. My wife don't have a hard job, so we're like, man, we're good. And I think a lot of people maneuver like that. It's just like, hey, look, if we both work together, we could pay off, like I said, loans quicker. We could pay off our debt, because that's the whole key. You shouldn't be like living in debt. You know what I'm saying? You're paying way more money into that. So I think people that's financially literate understand this. They're like, man, look, let's pay that shit off. Let's invest. And when we retire, man, we're going to be living comfortably. So I think that's where we got to start getting with conversations, where it's just like, everybody don't have the same wants and needs. And I think when a lot of times like dudes like this, and even some of the females, was like, oh, you guys are broke. It's like, no, maybe I'm just financially literate and I don't require the same things. Because I like with me, I'm cool with just washing my own clothes. I can mop and sweep my floor. It takes like 5 damn minutes. I don't need nobody staying at the house to do like basic chores that I did as a kid. I don't see no value in that.
You got a Swiffer, you can mop in 2 minutes or 1 minute. And you got a robot. Like, your floor is always clean, right?
Well, it's just that, and then I don't have a ton. I got one kid, so it's just like I pretty much like position my life for efficiency. So it's like I don't need a ton of things. Like maybe a dude that wants to have like 3 to 4 kids needs from a female to stay at home. So that's why I'm saying I think we just got to start dissecting these conversations out. Like, hey, why do you structure your relationship like that? And you could get some nuggets from them people. But I see like people want to jump on it and pinpoint it as like a roommate situation. It's like, even if it's a roommate situation, say a dude and his girl, they're working with each other and they need each other. If they both signed up for that, they have no issue. What's the issue with that? So
even Prime put in the comments that white people go 50-50. And even in Hawaii, the wives do go to work. I mean, yeah. So like, to not think that other races are doing this is like, yo, that's how they go on these trips. They're not, I mean, some people, they go on trips, but you haven't seen the sugar daddy that pay for it. So don't be fooled. Because you can't tell me you go on trips every weekend, but you're not an actual model. I don't know who you're modeling for, what agency. You're not on any acting gigs. So how's this getting paid for? And we got to like have some cognitive dissonance, not cognitive, like think and break it down like, yo, somebody's paying for it. The dissonance should be like, how much is this fantasy is actually reality? And so you get away from the Instagram and the TikToks and just not be fooled from it. Because, yo, like to go on vacation, it costs you money. Because if normally you work, you count your hours, it costs you money. At the end of the day, each day, it costs you money that you lose from working. So not saying not to have vacations, but you got to look at it that way. And if you're a business major, shame on you to act like a common groupie, and you got an MBA. Shame.
But just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, Stan, it's like, man, because I do the finances and I help a lot of people out, man. And it's funny, man, people will always argue about me with like the 50-50. And, once I tell them about retirement, I'm like, hey, man, typically say like if the dude is paying for everything, he's overburdened. He's not putting away enough money for 2 people. Because it's just like, I think only 20% of people, if that, are making like 6 digits, like over 100,000. So it's just, it's not happening at that rate. So you can't put away, I think to max out your 401k, what is it, like 23,000? So for 2 people, what is that, 46?
Yeah.
So most people ain't put it away 46,000. And that's what you need to do to hit like a comfortable retirement rate. So that's what I'm saying. It's like when you start looking at the numbers, you start breaking it down. It's just like, man, that's why you see a lot of older people coming back into the workforce. You see them working at like gas stations, supermarkets and stuff. It's because, man, a lot of people didn't adapt, didn't like look at the numbers, the logic and stuff. And what Prime's saying, like working with each other. So that's why I'm saying it's just like, it's almost like people are trapped into an ignorance. It's like, man, them days is gone. Unless you a multi-millionaire, you could pay off your house in like short amount of time. It's like, man, you're going to end up paying like double on your mortgage. You're paying like millions of dollars if you stretch it out over 30 years, where like if you and your wife both worked and just dumped that money onto the house and paid it off in 10, you'll save yourself $500,000. So it's just almost like we're just conditioned to be dumb. And that's why I said it's almost like, in order to be masculine nowadays, you gotta be stupid. So man, you gotta detach from that shit. Go ahead.
About 50-50 and people like, well, you always say 50-50. You and I, we can talk about the standpoint of the era that we all grew up in, which is the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. Like, women wanted to go to work. No women wanted to stay home and take care of their children. And they also, like, they want to be around other adults. Like, you get paid. It was social skills and meeting other people. And you felt good about bringing in money to the household. I don't understand, like, we've gone through, and we grew up there. So we've seen the magazines. We've seen Oprah and Sally Jesse Raphael. Like, people wanted to do more. What probably was on the second wave of feminism. And as boys, we're taught to, like, don't do that to your wife, and don't have 4 or 15 kids on your wife because she wants to go out, and let her grow and let her have a career. I'm just like, okay, this is it. And that's why I stand on like, yo, you need to go to work, because what you're not going to do is blame me and blame the children that you stayed home. Matter of fact, I won't even want to have kids. I probably don't continue to send them out into the world because, like, yo, you got to go to work because that message was so drilled on me. It's not going anywhere. You don't get to stay home. Either we get somebody come in to help out, or the kids got to work themselves or get some robots. But either way it's going to be, you're going to have to work a little part-time job. You're going to have something to get out the house. That's my only thing for my wife. I want you to get out the house. I don't want you to feel trapped. That's not going anywhere. Nobody bring no religion. I don't hear nothing about no Bible verses. You're going to be outside this house. Me and the kids are going to be good. You're going to be outside this house. Go ahead, SJ.
But I was just gonna say, man, I think people got to tone out what they want. That's the issue. And it's like, man, you got to do what you need to do, man. And what I mean by that is, like, I always tell people, man, go talk to a financial advisor. Tell them, like, hey, me and my wife, we want to, like, retire at 60, 62. This is the lifestyle we want to live. Like, man, we want to be able to pull out like 80,000 annually for both of us, cover all our expenses. They're going to give you numbers. And once you see them numbers, it's going to wake you up to be like, damn, we ain't even close to that. So we both got to work. And that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people are just like operating out of delusion. Because like I said, even, you know, if you make a good amount of money, you're just not able to put away enough for two people. Unless you're hitting higher numbers or you're making a dramatic sacrifice. Like, look, we're going to only have like one vehicle. And most people don't want to make no sacrifices. So that's the issue where, like, Angryman's kind of saying, a lot of guys are kind of tapping out because they're just like, I'm not going to live up to these unrealistic expectations that somebody has. I'm good by myself. Like, I could put away money I'm saving. So I'm not going to sit there and bring somebody in my life where, you know, they're becoming a burden. Because it's like times has changed. Like I said, you got somebody like me that's like, man, I don't need nobody cleaning up after me. I'm clean. Like, I was in the military. We was trained to like take care of your own stuff and all that. So it's just like, I'm very efficient at what I do. So I don't need like a maid at the house, man. I don't need like somebody making me a sandwich. Just Subway. I can go right over there and spend that $5. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people just don't realize. Every guy don't have the same needs as like some of these basic dudes, like the white guy in the video. He's like, hey, just show up, be pretty, and take my money. Ladies, go find that guy. But a lot of guys just ain't operating off of that. That don't mean they broke. They got their shit together. They want a smart chick with them that's willing to rock with them, that could excel with them. That's as simple as it is.
Right. Facts.
Okay, the only thing I have to say, sir, is that's not cute. We all are broke, and that's according to the census. So let's not bullshit. Moses, we all broke. We trying to pretend we ain't broke. We all broke. Unless you up there with Donald Trump. We all broke and we're trying to make it through.
Well, Ms. Barley, if you know we're broke, then let's be rich together.
No, there ain't no rich together because we all broke. And the only thing we can do is possibly get to mid class, and that ain't gonna happen either. So let's just all stop bullshitting. You know, save your hopes and dreams for your dreams, and we keep it at that. Most people ain't making that kind of money and will never do. So,
but see, that's even more reason why people need to work together. Because it's like, hey,
I didn't say
y'all...
anything. I said the economy. I think y'all need 4 bitches. Get 4 bitches, and all y'all work, and y'all can think you can make a plan.
Man, Miss Paul, you gonna send people to jail. You gonna send people to jail.
Get 4 bitches and get 4 bitches who like to work. And they want to go on trips and tell them we gonna put all our money together, and it's okay, and we gonna be rich. That's it. What do you gotta say? That's a team effort. What you mean? I'm proactive, being positive. Shoot, at this point, I want a wife. Y'all tripping? I need a. You gotta be
get
rich.
About 4 of them, huh?
Get
4 of them on deck.
4. You need 4. You need one to do some house stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to come home to a clean house to some degree. You don't want to clean when you get home. You need a housewife. You need, another wife to do some books. We need a lot of helpers out here. 4's a good number.
But nah, in fact, Angryman was definitely spitting. The only thing I would say to like a lot of people, man, I think a lot of times we just focus as provision as is money. And I think provision could be support. It could be knowledge, wisdom. Cause like I said, if some females like you get with them, like for example, my wife, like, man, when we got together, she wanted to be in the medical industry. She was like, hey, I really want to be a nurse. I like helping people out. So I was like, cool, man, go do that. So she kind of needed like more, she didn't need like the financial aspect. She needed somebody that would kind of motivate her and stuff like that. And I think that's what like we got to start including into the conversations. Cause yeah, like my wife, I know my sister's the same way. My sister's like high up in the school districts. So they needed more or less like support and the motivation and stuff like that versus, and you know, knowledge and wisdom. Cause like I taught my wife how to invest, and you know, I taught her about the retirement. I'm like, hey man, put your money over here. This is how you maneuver it. This is how you make sure you get higher and stuff like that. So I think a lot of times when we having these conversations, it's solely just like, oh, you got to pay for everything in this. It's like, nah, man, like everybody just don't require the same thing. And I think everybody wants to lump everybody because it's like, hey, this is what I'm comfortable with. This is what I'm used to. This is what I kind of demand for my situation. And if anybody operates out of that, then you're not masculine or you're not feminine or, you know, because a lot of times even working women get pushed back. You know, they be like, oh, she's masculine. I'm like, nah, they ain't masculine. You just can't get a female to rock with you. That don't mean like they don't exist. So yeah, I think we just got to start expanding our horizons. And it's just like, if you ain't used to something, it's all right to say like, hey, I never really seen that. Can you break that down to me? So I have that understanding. Shout out to Coach Ferg. He said he always liked the smart women. Shout out to, yeah, me too, man. I can't be with no dumb chick. And Prime over here dropping some knowledge. I'm writing this down, Prime. I'm about to get some shares right now. But now we can get back to the video. Yeah, I just wanted to stop it right there because I like what he was saying and how he kind of gave that pushback. Like, you know, them dudes talk about masculinity, man. It's funny because even the old guy, he was mad feminine too. Yeah, man had a lean in his neck.
I would say definitely for sure, man. Well, at this point, like, you know, I think he's pretty much like wrapping things up. But he was definitely like, you know, speaking some real knowledgeable facts, man, and just bringing people back to reality. And that's what I like about these type of videos, man, because we make things too overcomplicated. And we get too much on our head about like we gotta overperform, gotta do this and that, or we're too fixated on the lack of what women bring. But to be honest with you, I don't care about like what they bring or what they not bring, because you know why? I'm gonna look for somebody that's already gonna be established and to a point where we don't even have to have these like silly talking points or these questions. And when we do have those questions, it would be just for fun of it.
But see, M3, like what I tell people is just like, whatever you need to make a decision on, like if that's a good person you need to pull in your life, man, ask away. You know, and I tell that to females too. It's just like, hey man, you shouldn't be scared. Because I think on one of our videos, man, there was some female that was giving some pushback. She was like, oh, why would you care about somebody's past? I'm like, why would you not? And you know, because she was just like, well, it sounds like y'all only care about females. I'm like, nah, you know, women should be asking guys about the past too. Just so it's just like, man, you're probably not going to ask the question as far as like what you bring to the table, but you damn sure better make sure that person has some value. So I mean, I would ask the question just out of fun. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I did it to my wife, and she ain't had no issue responding. And I think with a lot of people, man, they're so scared of like especially guys, they're like, okay, if I ask females this question, they're going to be mad and they're not going to fuck with me. It's just like, you're supposed to dwindle it down. So you're supposed to lose people through the process. And then the females that's not scared to answer that question because they had the value, man, those are the ones you need to rock with. And that's why I think guys don't understand this shit. Because, yeah, my wife was just spewing it off. She was like, hey, man, I bring all kind of value. This. I was like, all right, man, I got the damn point. Like, I had to cut her off and shit. So that's what I'm saying. That would be the type of chick that I'm looking for. I don't care. Like, if a chick gets offended, 9 times out of 10, she's coming there to try to use you or take advantage of the situation. So I'm cool with losing you. I don't care if you think it's corny, lame. Like, I never been a guy that had, like, issues with a female taking money or nothing like that. So I'll be the lame guy that's not getting used and shit. So it's like, nah, ask away, man. Ask any question. Shit. If everybody's always like, hey, I want a person that's honest, truthful, then that means you got to be an open book to a certain degree. So nobody should be getting offended if you ask them a question, vice versa. If she asks you a question, like, you should respond so y'all both can make a good assessment on, like, if you with the right person. But see, that's why the divorce rate and everything is high, man, because people don't ask questions. That's why Tyrese is crying. That's why you see all the news like, oh, females, they all trying to get me and stuff. It's like, yeah, because that's the ones you align with, because you ain't ask shit. You ain't make them bring no value to you besides just looks. So that's why you getting caught up. You out here like Dave East, like, I can't believe she robbed me.
Hey, no, facts though.
Yeah, so yeah, don't let nobody like sway you. I'm asking any question. I'm stepping to that table like, hey, what do you bring to the table? God damn it! So I'm over here. I'm popping. I got my shit together. You gotta bring value over here. I ain't like these other guys. Cause she might get offended. She might be like, why you asking me the question? I'm like, hey, listen, I know you heard them other guys talk about I shouldn't be asking you, but they ain't shit. They ain't me. They ain't got no game.
You know, SJ, what you say is true, because in therapy, like, if you're interested in being in a relationship, the goal is to be in an intra-dependent relationship. It's not like you're depending on the person and the person's not depending on you. You want to get out of a codependency, but also you have to write down the skills of who you are and what you provide in a relationship for support. So that's another way for other people to look at it. So what you're saying is true. Like, people do have to write that stuff down. They're like, in the relationship, I do this. So you can look at your friendships, or you're like who you are with your friends, and see what you provide. Because like that relationship is gonna be different, because of course you're gonna be intimate, i.e. sex. So that's another thing. Y'all need to stop acting like y'all don't like no sex. You don't need it. Y'all in a relationship together, get over it. Have sex. But all that to say, you gotta write this stuff down and be prepared. Like, who are you in a relationship? It's okay.
And stop being scared to learn from people, man. I'm telling you, man, me and my wife, when she first got in the medical field, like, she bet one of her mentors, man, like, she was a CFO. The lady was a CFO and her husband was I think like an architect or something. So we went over their house, man. They had like this beachfront house. This was their vacation property. I mean, their money was long and shit. So we saw their other house before because we went over there to eat. We're like, God damn, how many houses y'all got? So, you know, I'm asking questions. I'm interested. I'm like, man, how y'all structure everything? Because like I said, she was a CFO. He was like an architect making all this money. They were like, look, we structure our stuff like that. Man, we left that house. We were like, look, we about to change. Like, they winning. So and they was like doing a 50-50. They was like, hey, she invest on, because she was buying company stock. She was putting the money over there. He was buying like stocks on his end. Man, they had all their shit paid off. They was flourishing. Man, we left that house like, shit, we about to change. Then my cousin, he kind of had a similar structure, and him and his girl both were like multi-millionaires. So that's what I'm saying. We saw the winners. We like, man, we ain't trying to do this like old school dumb shit. Like, right, we adapted, you know, based on, you know, we was over there asking questions. We was like, oh no, it don't exist. Oh, man, he's not masculine. Man, that dude was like chiseled up, kickboxing too and stuff like that. So nah, it's just like, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna ask him, I'm trying to win. And I told my wife that, I'm like, man, we trying to win. If we see a good formula, man, I'm writing that shit down and I'm gonna put it into motion. So like, even with Prime dropping this knowledge, I'm about to go buy some shit for real. Like, that's what life is. It's like, take notes and nuggets from everybody, man. Stop worrying about these people that's telling you like, oh, don't do this, don't do this. Because they ain't gonna come pay your divorce court, your lawyer bill. Like, you mess around, go to divorce court, you follow their lead. They ain't gonna come pay that shit. They ain't gonna dig you out that hole.
Yeah, facts.
And stop listening to people who's telling you after you got laid off that you should go on a trip. Just stop.
Oh yeah, we gonna have to break that video down.
Just stop. Like, nobody need to go on no trip right now. Like, nobody needs to go on the trip right now.
But Stan, that's a good point, because it's like with all these people like losing they jobs and stuff, man, the stuff is fragile out here. So it's just like, man, if you have that person that's working with you, man, like, that stuff could keep you afloat. And if you could work with each other and pay your bills down, then you could weather these storms a lot better than somebody else, man. So yeah, I think, man, people got to start getting better at this finance stuff, man. And I think it's people got to start giving this pushback. And that's why I do it, man. I don't really care. I'm like, man, pay all the bills if you want to. Like, all I'm saying is just like, hey, go talk to a financial person and make sure that you're good to go with everything. Because it's just like, man, once you hit about 60, there ain't no reset button. This ain't no video game where you get like, you can start over if you don't get it right, you know?
Yeah, because like, I mean, the price of eggs is almost $20 for a dozen. And that's why I'm like very passionate about like, yo, like we can't have these same talking points. Like people are just making money out of nowhere. Like those days are over with. It's been over with for more than 6 months. And the reality of it is like people are like sleeping in their cars. It's like a whole bunch of stuff that's out there. And to sit here on Al Gore's internet and go around talking about you want to get flew out and your favorite hobby is eating. I'm just looking like, if you don't read the economical wall, like it's everywhere, and to act like it's above you is just not. It's very what's what I'm looking for, and well, you know what? Let me just go for it. It's just distasteful. It's very distasteful because you're not helping anybody. You're just making people more delusional than what it really is. And people got to have that wake up in reality because you're going to need to be in a relationship to buy some eggs. Eggs used to be like $2. Now it's $20 for like a carton, like a 12, like a dozen eggs.
Yeah, it's getting steep out there, man. Everything costly. That's what I'm saying. It's like people acting like they still in the 50s, man, when shit was cheap. What's good, Ruthless?
What's happening? What's happening with y'all?
Doing all right, man. How you been? Are we wilding out tonight? What's your pushback on this?
Well, I don't really got no pushback. Just the topic is interesting to bring it to the table. It's, I think it's, men, we really don't care about that stuff. We really don't care about it in aspect of qualifying to date us or being with you. Now, because of the economic scale in life right now, most men who are vetting according to women, it's not necessarily a requirement, but it's more of us saying, well, we do need a little help, right? Some of us need a little help to secure the future, right? It's more of a long play than a short play. And that's a conversation that you have after you're together for some time and you figure, okay, we can work good together. But the qualifications for most men when we're just dating or meeting women, we're not really looking into their finances or how can they take care of us or how can we get something from them financially, right? It's more psychological, right? And that is valuable to us. And everything extra than that, like any help that they give is just extra. It's appreciated, very much appreciated. I mean,
Ruthless, do you think it's a good strategy though? Like, I know most men don't do it, but do you think moving forward? I know we kind of talked about this before that men should start kind of assessing that, like females' finances.
Well, yes, because women's demands, where the demands are at right now, I do think men should start demanding these type of things because the women are not or have not been given a return on their investment as far as the things that are needful for the man to be peaceful or happy, whatever, right? So 9 times out of 10, you get into relationships, there'll be problems, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore, you might as well have her put a skin in the game so that she have something to work for or something to lose as well as you. And this is not really for, because men, we as far as manly man, we really don't want to ask women for that, right? We really don't. I mean, it just, we get shamed for that by other men and stuff like that. But because times are changing and women are charging a high price to be in their presence, it's that time that we have to make it a part of the requirement if we're going to move forward in anything that's serious, because we need more secure basically like a deposit, right? On the car loan, right? We just to make sure that we are not getting played for, or that if she does want to walk away and try to be, a certain type of way, that she's going to lose something too. So yeah, it is the value of loss when it comes to feelings and love and all that shit. And she just walks away like nothing happened. She should pay a price too, just like we do. So yeah, in that aspect, a man should require. And then we talk about average men. Now we're not talking about the wealthy or guys who are really well off, because they're not going to do it. But the guys who are average, plumbers, we'll say decent earners, to, I guess, put an insurance policy on their relationship, it should be a requirement.
Okay. Miss Polly, was you about to say something? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is she frozen? She stayed working. She stayed getting that paper.
Right.
This.
Oh, okay. Now she's back.
No, you don't got to do it. Okay. Apparently, I do more than half. Listen, I mean, it is what it is. Insurance policy, that's that contract. So I gotta do what I gotta do. I understand. So I'm let y'all be great. I don't have a better attitude.
Don't make it sound like it's the defeatist thing, because if you're looking at it like you have somebody that's part of your life. I'm on the other side, like working in social services, and I'm seeing people living this life alone. And it's like, yo, like, I get that people want things, but at the end, like, when you're just like you and your person, you want somebody there because your parents are probably aged out and passing away. Siblings are across the world somewhere. Your cousins on the other side of the world, like, yo, like, this whole thing of like saying roommates is like it sounds like it's insultive, right? To people who actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It's not you. But I think the culture overall, right? Like, yo, like there's people out here who are alone, and people would rather like share something with somebody in this life or go home to just somebody, right?
I
And we
get it.
think that we're above that, and we're not.
No, I think right. I mean, I know roommates make people feel, a little sensitive. Listen, I'm a lady. I'm a sensitive person occasionally, but I understand. Like at the end of the day, there are people who can take that kind of energy. So that's why you're supposed to find your match. I like when people are what. Some people need to hear it in a nicer way, and that's fine too. Whatever makes you feel better at night and you sleep good with the choices you've made, that's what I want you to do. So if you
And Miss Polly, can we also say you got two of them? So you being
no, no,
greedy ass.
I don't have two of them right now. I don't have two partners right now. Though, no. So
you got three?
No, I don't. Damn, you gonna go up? You ain't gonna go down? So
Miss Polly is you, so we always go up.
That's messed up.
You a pimp.
No, I'm not. Don't let these bitches lie. All I'm trying to say is, listen, I'm down. I believe myself personally in unconditional love. So I understand what you're coming from. I believe in unconditional love. You're here because you want to be here. I think most relationships are contract. I think most people are there for a reason. And that's okay too. There's nothing to be ashamed of if it is a contract. Just like don't live in a delusion or live in a delusion if that is not. But like when it comes down to it, you just have to own what you're doing. If you're in a relationship because you don't want to die alone, then that's just what it is. Don't sit here and play games with people's emotions who really want to have emotional connection with you. And the real reason you're trying to get with someone, you're trying to get married so that you don't die alone. Like, that's your real thing. That's the real thing that's going on. Like, don't trap people and lie and swindle them into thinking something is something else when it really you don't want to be by yourself, or you just want sexual access. Like, let's stop bullshitting and lying to each other. It is what it is. and somebody's going to agree with it. There's somebody out there who won't be okay with being that for you. Like, but don't lie to people and swindle your way into situations that aren't what they are. There's somebody going to be there for you.
But here's something, right? You might come to the attention of, I just only want sex. Oh, I have the fear of dying alone. But also at the end of that day, as the days progress, it grows into something else. That's why I was like, when we say hookup culture, a lot of times people do hookup culture, they end up falling in love and being in a long-term relationship. Because at the end of the day, you're not meant to have hookup culture because you really want a relationship, but you didn't know. And you went into this whole thing and it becomes this gobbledygook and you figure out you want something else, right? So dying alone, okay, fine, but you're also going to live a life together. And that is something that is,
I don't know.
You can't replace. You just can't replace that
Stan.
stuff.
I don't know how many people have said, hey, I went into this just trying to dick her down, and now she's my woman. I don't hear that love story at all.
I know that happened a lot because look at all the rom-com movies that people followed in the 90s. What's that thing y'all had before?
What's it called?
Sex in the City.
You try to use that is not.
And all of them end up in a relationship.
Was banging. You know, I didn't even watch that, so I don't even know.
And at the end of the series, all of them got married. At the end of the series, all of them got married.
To the men that just wanted to use them for sexual access?
And they was using the men. They weren't no victims. They were not no victims.
That's what I say. I'm saying, but the men that they were just banging for a fun time were the same men they married?
Yes.
That's a lie from the pit of hell. They set that whole series on fire. That's a lie. Ain't nobody gonna be banging you for decades saying, "Oh, maybe we gonna get together." Nah, come on. No, they banged you until their options were gone. They banged you until their options were gone, and you were the only one left.
Oh, let's be
thanks for holding on.
Miss Polly, tell the truth. You're a woman.
No.
Y'all do that witchcraft. Y'all eat the gooch.
No, we're not gonna do that.
No. Eat the gooch. The man. That's
no. I want the real story is they were banging the same people and intermittently banging other people, and at the end of the day, they aged out, and nobody really wanted them, so they just stuck with the people who were left. So what happened?
Not true.
I'm glad they got married after 12 years of banging 12 people, and then all of a sudden, they didn't want to die alone, and they got married to the same guy. Oh, you didn't find love, because you would have loved him 12 years ago.
Miss Polly. Tell
the story to somebody who believes it.
Because guess what? The woman wrote it, so it's right there.
Yeah, and she's delusional.
And you know what's next?
Delusion.
What's next after that?
Delusion.
90-Day Fiance, or How to Lose.
Isn't she the same one who said she wished she never wrote that story? I remember. I think she said that. She said she wished she never wrote it because it was a lie.
And you know that's that. Well, you know what you have after that? You know what you have after that? Eat, Pray, Love. And you know what you have after that?
Oh my! It's all lies though.
And you know what you have after that?
It doesn't make it real.
Lifetime channel in the holidays.
Oh my Lord!
After that, Hallmark new movies this Saturday.
It doesn't matter those things. This is what you're telling me. You're telling me basically the fact that women want to live in a delusion over and over again doesn't make it true. It's still a lie.
Okay, but
a lie is a lie. Nobody is screwing you for 12 years and then decides to marry you and goes back and says, "Oh, you were the one." No, you were the last one. That's what it was.
You know who said that? Zaddy.
You were the last one.
Zaddy said that to J-Lo after she was a maid in New York. So the final form
I want you to stop giving me movies that are lies.
Hey, hold on. Let Ruthless. I think he was trying to say something.
I think that is a grave mistake, though. To marry someone to not be alone is a very dangerous and very desperate type of situation, which will put you in a very vulnerable and hostile potential environment, right? Because that's just not a good way to go in if somebody catches that, you're pretty much toast, right? Because I think if you tell somebody, "Oh, I need you, and I want to marry you because I don't want to be alone," and you don't really say it like that, but you like overarching point. For most people, that's a license to destroy, right? License to disrespect. Yeah, because now, like, nigga, you ain't shit. Now, especially you can't tell a woman that. You cannot tell a woman that. I promise you, you need to, because the guys who win with women are the guys who act like they don't need women, right? Like all the guys, you see all the guys who treat women like, oh, well, I don't need you, I like you, but I got all these other women. Women chase them, right? They even had a poll out today that women are attracted to married men more than they are single men. Because why? Women are attracted to things that are more challenging, something that, you know,
Can you? Oh, sorry.
if you look thirsty, nigga, you are fucked. Because now, most likely she's gonna friend zone you. Then she's gonna make you start, you know, acquiescing to everything, and you just be a how you say it, an errand boy.
But you know, Ruthless, I'm gonna give you some hope. If you go watch Seinfeld, be like George. Marry somebody because they rich, and if she pass away first, you're rich.
Yeah, she's gonna be old and ugly.
No, she's gone already. You go ahead and do a reset.
Yeah, but those women are less than 15% of the population.
But look, you found one, okay, and then you pass away first. Like what happened to George.
Rich women, first of all.
But look, I'm giving you hope.
I understand that. You're not giving me hope.
Money,
no.
And you just move forward.
No. I'm not talking about me because I'm a made man. But what I'm saying is, if a poor guy looking for a rich woman, you're talking about it's only 15% of rich people in the United States, right? So these women are very hard to access. Number one. Yes, you got to get in the room with them, number one, right? Like a woman like Hillary Clinton or something like that, right? Or somebody up at them levels making all that money or got access to that kind of money. You either have to be a pool boy. you got to be right a chauffeur. You know what I'm saying? You got to be somehow, you know, imprinting yourself in there, and then I like
that. See the imprint. The guy, and also be ready to show the imprint while you're working.
But you got to get access. You still got to gain access to her. So you got to have something. You got to be really desirable. I mean, you got to be a 10 damn near, right?
Or as SJ always told us, you're in proximity.
Yeah, but she has a lot of you. All the other drivers and janitors want her too, right? So why would she pick you?
She got muscles.
Other 12 dudes that you know are in your position fight for her.
No,
so,
with muscles, all things possible.
Unless you got fight like an interesting mouthpiece, right? Or you got some aesthetics. You know, people who got the gift of gab is rare, right? It's very rare. To access a woman like that, you have to have extreme amount of confidence because she's going to be unapproachable in the beginning, right? Because you know, most women with money, they put themselves on a high playing field. So they're just not letting any man access them. That's number one. And that, right? So you're being a poor servant trying to gain access to a rich tycoon woman with access to, you know, men who are on her level or better. You're going to have have something that is, I mean, if you can put that D on her, you know what I'm saying? If you get that access, you better. I know it's very difficult. That's just what I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that because how are you going to get access to her? Remember, her image is everything. She's not going to just be with no guy out there like that.
But you know what, Ruthless?
Yeah.
The socks is not keeping her warm at night.
Yeah, she might sneak you in. You know me, every now and then to crave that itch. But you sneak it out the back door. You know what?
Like our African brothers, get her pregnant. Secure the lifestyle.
No, she's not. She's smarter. These women.
But you know what? Get them older. They want a baby. Just hyphenate that name.
Only woman's going to be like that has to be like a cougar type woman, right? That really unattractive, and she can't have no more kids. She just wants you to beat her down every now and then, and she's going to have you sneaking in the back door and sneaking your ass out the back door, right? Because once again, her image is everything, right? No rich woman want to be seen with a broke nigga. It's just not going to happen.
But you know what? If she older, it doesn't matter.
Well, it matters because her homegirls, her clique,
get them pregnant.
Her rich clique, right? Their opinions matter, right? They're like, girl, you got that.
Oh, but you know what? And that's why I'll bring you an M3 to the party to talk to her rich friends.
Nah, I ain't.
Hey guys, we about to get ready to close out, man. So it was
What's up, M3?
What's up, Ruthless Truth, man? You know, you came late to the party, but it's good to see you up in here, bro.
Yeah, I just thought I'd pull out. I just got in the home, so I saw y'all. So let me go say what's up.
I appreciate it.
The table, I'm gonna say this since y'all finna close out. The only reason men are asking women what do they bring to the table is because women have lost the appreciation for being appreciative of the things that they are requiring from men for free, right? So because women are unceremoniously complaining about men, even after they have benefited from men in a great way through history, right? Now men are saying, well, since you're doing all this talking and I'm talking all this shit, what do you bring to the table? It's only the bring it to the table question is only just to try to bring women that, like, bring her ego down, like, really, you know, we really accept you for the way you are, but now you're making us like challenge or make it look that you're very not as, obviously you overvalue yourself, right? You're overvaluing yourself. So that's it. You know, it ain't really, but to sophisticated Jerk's point, right? Us men who are here, who living on budgets, you know, we make 50, 60K a year, and you know, we're trying to get our retirement together. We're trying to walk out the door at 60, 65 with a nice, you know, nest egg. We need that woman. They're going to need that woman to have to bring something to the table in as far as, you know, adding to the pot, putting in the pot. So, because, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. A lot of men could have a lot of things if they never married or got with a lot of these women. Because one thing about a lot of these guys get women become bills for a lot of men. I'm not saying for every man, but for a lot of men, women are bills. And this makes it harder to get to retirement. It makes it harder to get to your goal because, you know, most men let's be honest, pay the mortgage. Most men are paying the mortgage. At least 95 to 96% of men are paying their mortgage on that house. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it a beam. And I'm going to land it there.
Right. And at this point,
he was spitting some facts. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, M3.
No, I was saying on that note, to be continued.
Yeah, let me just piggyback real quick off of what because I like what he was saying, man. And that's the key that people miss, and that's what irritates me about it when they take shots at guys like they can't cover the bills. It's like, nah, if a man was single, he could get a 1-2 bedroom by himself. But, you know, of course, if he gets with somebody, he's got to increase the space. He's got to increase like the groceries. He's got to increase the insurance amount, health, car. So that's the issue. And that's where guys are making that decision. Like, man, for somebody just to do some basic chores in the house, and I really don't need to increase my bills like that. I'm good. So
and be ungrateful and have an attitude.
Yes, that's the thing right there. That's the thing. The grateful part, the malviness, the over, you know, I don't need a man, but I'm with a man type attitude. You know what I mean? That dude's like, fuck that. I'd rather be by myself and just have more money.
Yeah, and SJ, you remember you got the stuff about the guy in DC who's dating, and he's like, yo, a lot of these brothers, they staying single on purpose, right? I think we're going to review his channel later. Just about the dating scene in DC.
Oh, yeah, no, facts.
And how, like, some men just choosing, you have to be out, be social, but they don't want a relationship. It costs money, and it's like, wow. Don't be a house pet. That's all I got to say.
No, facts. But all right, M3, man, you can close it out.
All right, M3.
Okay, M3 looking like he's part of the
That's all I gotta say.
Jackson 5.
All right, M3, man, you can close it out. All right, M3. M3 looking like he's part of the.
Oh wait, yeah, somebody got mute.
Yeah, because he's looking like the Barge brothers, like Where is Donna now? And
I gotta rest my eyes a little bit. That's why I got the shades on.
No, but shout out to Angry Man, man. I thought that was a good clip, man. I thought it was a good discussion. How he brought it to the forefront. So, man, I think more conversations like this is necessary to, call out Derrick Jaxn clones and stuff. Men with this masculinity thing. It's just like, man, come on, y'all. Like the dudes that keeps doing this, man. You're not the most masculine guys, man. You want to pay a chick's bills, just go pay it, man. That's why I understand. I'm like, just go pay her bills, man. Don't lump everybody else to what you have to do.
And don't shame other men. Don't shame other men because they run their
as my father said, his Dominican voice, right? If you are poor, what bill do you have to give me when you are poor and broke?
Yeah, but,
man, you poor and broke. You have no bills.
I think men shouldn't shame other men because they run their programs different.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The only time I talk shit is when people try to make it something that it's not, or they want to like lump everybody in. But I agree with you, Ruthless, because to me it's just like, man, do what you need to do. But
men are not a monolith, right? We have, some guys might require their woman, hey, look, I need you to put a skin in this game. And other guys might want to pay all the bills. Other guys, everybody's different, right? How you run your program and how you live your life is you. But there's no reason for me to try to shame you because I'm doing it this way. And I'm like, well, you ain't a man because you're not doing it like me.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I feel you.
So Anthony, are we back on Tuesday?
Oh yeah, of course. Like, we'll think of another topic that we gotta react to, man. So, I was thinking about something. I can't remember what it was, right? But it was something that I saw like on YouTube. Oh, you know what? I remember now.
Okay.
It was that one video. So we do that on.
Yeah, it was about like the little love thing or something. I forgot what it was, what was called, but I thought that was like a really good video. So hopefully it's not like like one of those like copyright type of videos because I felt like it had a good message behind it. It's like a really overweight, obese, fat-looking dude who's married to this beautiful, fine woman, and a lot of these guys, right, cannot believe this woman, out of all the other men, would choose like someone that's obese like that person over like an average, normal-looking guy. So,
Stan said this sounds like a Lifetime movie and shit.
It's until
some women have more power.
But what happened was like, okay, there was actually like a clip, and I remember dude, Jackson.
We'll review it, man. We gonna get to it. Don't give the details. We gonna review it.
My bad. Tuesday. My bad, man. I was so passionate about it, man. I was like Stan, man. I was gonna give the spoiler alerts.
Tune in Tuesday.
Because then from there, we can break down the nuances of types of women, right? Or how they move differently. But objectively, the same goal.
All right, so we'll see you on Tuesday, Ruthless.
Yeah, I pull up. What time? EM3?
6 p.m. Because you're in the West Coast, right?
I'm right down the street from you.
Okay, for sure. So 6 p.m.
All right,
cool, man. All right, everybody.
All
right, go man. Eagles. Thank you, Eagles, for winning.
I just got me a stack. Shout out to the Eagles.
Yeah. Thank you again, man, for tuning in to Reckless Reviews with your boy M3, the Sophisticated Jerk, and Stan Joseph.
Oh yeah, and happy birthday again to Frosty, Marcus. Shout out to Prime in the chat, Miss Polly for pulling up. Saw Quantum out there.
Yeah, Dr. Quantum. Shout outs to all the people that tune in like on Instagram as well too. We have a lot of people. Sangeeta, the King Gene, Party Time Transformations, B-Eazy Dat Dude, Leah, Colin Mitchell.
Yeah, shout out to B-Eazy. That was B-Eazy's boy. That was you was reviewing his music, right?
Yeah. That was what's his name? Like John Sinatra. And man, like there's a lot of numbers. A lot of people actually came through, man.
Yeah, I like the tracks, man. He was spitting, man.
Yeah,
I like how you did the review. I think more people should be reaching out to people and get those done, man. I like how you did that.
Yeah, man. I just try to help my people out, man. Like, you know what I mean? And a lot of times it just be like free of charge because I mean, like, I don't really need much, you know what I mean? Except for my Latinas. But but with my brothers, man, like, I just want to make sure I do whatever I can to help put them on the map. And his people definitely came through and helped support the channel as well too. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cop the album. I think he said what was it, Tuesday or something, or
no, next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you're gonna definitely enjoy like his work of art, and I can't wait until like the music video does come out too.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, man, shout out to John Sinatra, aka Johnson Different. Go check out his YouTube channel, and also check out like Man of Sophistication because Mondays we do the recording, but whenever Sophisticated Drake upload the videos, that's when you'll be able to see it. So make sure you hit the notification bell because as opposed to like with the live streams, we do short form content together as well too.
Yeah, check that out.
All right, man. Well, anyways, man, I'm gonna hold y'all up, man. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.
Late.